gentlemen, welcome. Three brothers and a shot of milk, and we are here to talk superhero comics, movies, anime, maybe, not really, video
Maybe.
games, and more. I am your host, I guess, Rich, and my other co host, Chris St. Victor, who is the other brother.
What up?
Um, yeah, Chris, what's going on? How you been? How's your week been? How's your day been? How's everything been?
Man, it's been good. It's been good. We've been I've been watching Abbott Elementary. It's
I,
a it's a
yeah,
black office, Rich.
I've told you. I love when I talk and no one listens. That's fantastic. Fantastic. All
It
right.
is full blown a black office. It has Creed, it has Jim, it has Pam, it has Michael Scott. It has a whole love arc with Jim to go to Connecticut, comes back and it's a black office. It's
Yeah,
it's a black office. So
yeah, and
who it is, I don't know.
I enjoy it. Look who what is. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah. So what else? What else you been doing? What's going on?
And that's about it, man. Just working. What up?
What did I miss?
Is the end of Dappy?
He's very choppy and
Yeah.
very loud.
Good.
Oh, there we go.
Choppies.
And then I'm going wide body on the Corvette, so that's exciting. And then that's it. But no, I didn't. No new pickups. No, we didn't go to the comic book store today. But I do need to pick up the Absolute Wonder Man. And what's the other one, Jack? Absolute All Stars.
Did you say Wonder Man?
Wonder Woman, rather. Sorry.
Little different there.
Yeah.
There's four. There's the I think it's All In. There's the Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman.
All in, yeah. So I'm missing. So before I leave, we're going to New York. But before I leave to New York next week, I gotta have all four. You have all four yet, Jack?
Yes, but I'll show them during Collector's Corner. Spoiler alert.
Okay. Sounds good. And that's it. That's it for me.
That's it for you. Very good. Jack, what's going on with you? Welcome. What's been going on? How's your week been?
Thanks. Sorry I'm late. Let's see. So my week. I obviously watched Red One, which we'll talk about later. Yo, one of the best movies of the year? Question mark?
We'll get to that but here's my question.
We'll talk about it.
Do you remember when you watched Home Alone? Did you realize Home Alone was gonna be a classic when you watched Home Alone?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. So glad that happened. Obviously, Arcane caught up on that. I watched a documentary this week that is not content adjacent, but it really upset me in a kind of visceral way. The doc was about technology suppression. And, we all know that General Motors bought up patents in the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s
tires, right?
about
Did they have a tire one that they bought up that was going to make tires not wear out as fast? I think they bought it up. Supposedly the guy got murdered.
Yeah, all that stuff. Well, that's what was crazy about this doc I watched. There was over 600 cases where these people invented something, and I'm not just talking about electric cars or cars that ran on water and stuff like that, which obviously would have been better, especially if they started that process in the 1920s. But I'm talking about clean renewable energy sources that would completely fundamentally change the way we interacted with the world. You wouldn't need fossil fuels kind of situations where these people, all 600 plus accounts mysteriously vanished, or they were killed by accident, or they're incinerated, or you never saw it. And watching this documentary, two things occurred to me. That one, it's all probably completely true, and it's just really depressing the lengths a very small minority will go to sustain money, power, and influence. So anyways, that's not really content adjacent at all, but it just consumes so much of my mental capacity this week. I've just been really upset about it. Let's see what else. I read the comics, the Absolute series. They're good.
Are
Like,
they?
they're-
How is the
yeah, they're-
Batman? Because people are upset about Batman.
well, I mean, he's definitely drawn like a, he's not necessarily agile, but the stories are fun. I wouldn't really. I don't know what they're doing. They're not like rebooting the system, right? It's not like the new 40, 52.
No, I think it's like the Ultimate Universe, where it's an Absolute Universe is going to be like the Ultimates, where it's a separate standalone thing.
Well, I wonder how long this can play out. Probably just be a limited run. I don't necessarily see the stuff sustaining, but it's enjoyable for what it is. I feel like I watched something else. Can't remember. Did you guys know that Jean-Claude Van Damme was originally supposed to be the Predator?
Yes.
Yes.
I had no idea until
Yeah.
like last week. I had no idea. And do you know the person who ended up playing the Predator is the same guy who was Harry in Harry and the Hendersons?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like who's the guy that dominates all the motion capture stuff? Andy Serkis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was this guy. He used to do all the suit stuff. And
Yeah.
that was my week.
Rich, what about you? How was your week?
Yeah, my week's working. That's pretty much it. Watched Boy Kills World. Uh, yeah, it was on Hulu. Yeah, that was entertaining. It's like John Wickish. Lot of good martial arts in it. The humor gets a little old, but it's not bad. It's a good watch. I recommend watching it. Got it. Was watching a Moshu. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this name. Tensei. I butchered the name. Anyway, it's a great anime. It's also on Hulu and Crunchyroll if you want to watch it for free. The heartwarming story. I believe I finished the second season, and it's great stuff. What else? That's about it, man. It's working, trying to keep my head above water, and that's it. Got contracts coming up with the union, and looking for another job. So I'm not even sure if I should be worried about the contract stuff. And life is life in over here. Getting my, let me shut up. Yeah. So yeah, that's it, man. That's my week.
Well, fingers
Listen.
crossed for you, brother.
Don't worry about me. No one does. Listen.
That ain't true.
Listen. With that being said, what do you call a Christian superhero team?
What do you call a Christmas superhero team?
Amen. Okay.
Okay, the sound effect made him happen. The sound effect made him work.
That being said, we're going to go down the street, cut the corner. We're going to go past Guzzles. We're going to salute Pepe's Pizza, and then make another left, another right. And after that, we're going to be at the Collector's Corner.
It's show and tell time.
Here in the Collector's Corner, we pull out things off of our shelves, out of our bookcase, our toy chest, something that could be memorable from our childhood, or something you may have just bought, or maybe something you may have just built. Gentlemen, what do you have?
I'll go first. Let me I always pick the wrong one. Oh, here we go. Okay. So in 1986, there was a G.I. Joe line called Battle Force 2000, right? So it was 6 vehicles that came together to make this Battle Force 2000 like fortress. And I am striving.
What's happening?
Say again.
No, hold on, no. It's playing. It's not supposed to play. I just want the graphic. So anyway, so I got this. This is the ship from 1986, from one of the 6 pieces of Battle Force 2000, and I have 3 of the pieces so far. So I am just trying to track down the other few pieces so I can build. Let me show my screen.
What is this? Is that like a G.I. Joe or like
It's a G.I. Joe.
Okay.
It's a G.I. Joe thing, but this thing is not cooperating. Let me just share my screen real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So there's six vehicles total, and out of those six vehicles, it combines to make the Battle Force 2000 base that you see over here. So it looks like this is the original right here.
So it's
And
the
then-
Voltron of GI Joe.
Exactly,
Vehicle?
Jack. Exactly.
Okay.
My lord.
Exactly. So
But it makes a base. It doesn't make
it makes
like
a base. So it doesn't make a larger thing. It just makes a base.
Okay.
So I have the hover jet, the Vindicator hover jet. And that's this. This is the Vector jet, which is what you're looking at here, which is what I got.
All right.
And then we have some other blaster thing that's not pictured here, but I have it. And then so then we'll see. Hopefully, I'll be able to put it together and make the Battle Force 2000 Future Fortress.
Oh, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Hope it works out.
So you have 2 of the 6 needed?
I have 3 of the 6 needed. So
You
I,
have one.
Okay. We
I just got this Vindicator jet. So and according to this thing pops. Oh, this thing pops out.
Look at that in real time, ladies and gentlemen.
We're learning. So so I'm trying to put together this whole Battle Force 2000 assembly. And
So wait,
yeah.
Is this like something you had, or this something you just wanted and now you're building?
So this is how it started. I got the hover jet. I got this one, the Vindicator hovercraft.
Okay.
In a lot. I bought a lot off of Macari, and it came in the lot. And because I got that in the lot, I was like, I might as. And I started reading on it. And next thing I know, I had another piece and another piece. I'm like, if I'm halfway there, I might as well go all the way and get the Future Fortress of Battle Force 2000.
Future Fortress.
All
Yep.
right.
So I'll keep you guys posted on the progress. But this is the newest one. So the Vector Jet is the newest one. I'm missing like the little M pieces, but that's all right.
Oh, you're missing the You can 3D print them though.
I have. So we have done that a lot. So I've made them. Sometimes if I could just find one, I'll buy one, and then what I'll do is I'll try and scan it and kind of build the other one. So
Nice.
Okay. Very good.
that's my show.
So I guess we got something to look forward to in 2025.
You do.
Nice.
There you
nice.
go. The
All right.
Future Fortress of Battle Force 2000.
Jack, what do you got?
All right, so I'm showing off my my DC Absolute pickups. So this is the all-in.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Jack, can we still get that for cover price or anywhere close to cover price?
Maybe online. Yeah, maybe on like you probably pick it up for like $4 or $5 plus shipping. Yeah,
Okay,
but you'd pay for shipping.
that's all right.
This one is not reselling at a tremendous value. This guy, Superman Absolute. Now there's a bunch of cover variations. This is just the base cover, printing number 1. This guy you can also pick up, I'm sure, for pretty cheap. It came out last week, so it's pretty new.
I got that one.
Yeah, this is a nice one to have. If you're looking for some of the cover variations are way more expensive though. Like Jim Lee's got a couple. And then this is the Batman one, which is harder to pick up, I would believe. I've seen this thing already selling for a bunch. And then some of the cover, like there's a foil, like some sort of convention exclusive, might have been Comic-Con or something like that, exclusive foil cover of this is tremendously expensive, like ridiculously expensive already.
I have that one too.
I've
I miss
also-
foil covers, Jack. I miss foil covers. Like, remember in the 90s, everything was like number 1 in foil cover?
Yeah. Well, and I think that foil cover stuff is making a resurgence. We're seeing a lot of it nowadays. Like it's definitely come back in style. But I've seen this version selling for as much as $80 already. So you can pick it up for a lot cheaper, but it's already, this Batman Absolute is the first printing is already high retail value. And then this is the Wonder Woman. I haven't read this one yet. Again, I'm not even sure what I think she's what kind of animal she's on, like a weird horse bug.
Looks
Pegasus.
like a head or the a skull of a horse.
I mean, yeah, I'm not. Like I said, I haven't jumped into this one yet, but so this is the all-in absolute line, and you can still pick them up, but they're. I haven't seen them in stores since I picked them up. So I was Johnny on the spot getting them, which was lucky. And I haven't seen them. Well, how come I can't see you guys?
That's a good question. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
here.
we're still here.
There we go.
And now you're back up.
Hmm.
Someone's messing with it. I don't know.
All right, hands up.
Hey, there you guys are.
Hold on. Let me drag Rich over.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rich.
I got nothing.
There you go.
Like I've been saying, I got nothing. I'm not buying anything. I have more important things to buy, to pay for. Let me take that back. And I told you, I'm not buying anything. From the time that I told you.
Well, show us an oldie but a goodie.
I mean, what is good?
You got the Invincible back there. Did you show that?
Invincible.
Yeah, let's see him again though. I'm interested in the little mech figures up on your left shoulder.
I showed
there.
those twice. Showed these guys already. Again.
Third time's the charm,
those
man.
things that no one pays attention to me. But yeah, I found these little guys in the same comic book place like comic book collectible place that I pick up most of my pops, and they're from various different comics or various different.
But that's the most traditional guy, isn't he?
Yeah. That's the most. That's the one you'll see most of the time. And I just saw because they come in random boxes, so you don't really know which one you get. It's like one of those like the thing with the Monster Hunters. You get them and you get what you get. They come with a different series. So.
They do that on purpose because you could never plan, you could never build your thing. You just gotta keep buying and buying and buying.
Pretty much, yeah. Because I think for this red one over here.
So Rich, speaking about your place, you took your head. No, go ahead. Grab what you have to grab. I'll ask you when you get back. Speaking about the place where you bought your stuff, Funny Business and Nyack is closed down, right?
Oh yeah. They closed at the beginning of the year? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I went in there.
Chris is a good dude.
Yeah, I went in there and bought XJ some stuff because he was like, yeah, everything's like 50, like even more than 50. Some of it was like 80% off. I was like, what? He rang it up. I'm like, oh, do you want some more? He was like, yeah. So we came out pretty good on that one. At least he did. He came out pretty good on that one. Yeah, this guy I got him like twice. So I got multiples of him. And it is what it is. They're cool little things to collect. Oh, yep. Now I got to put them back together.
Yep.
All right.
I should show you the next Funko Pop I got coming. See if you guys can and make my screen big again. See if you guys can recognize them.
Oh, I actually sold 2 Funko Pops.
Yeah. Is that Rich?
You guys recognize this guy? I made a Rich Funko Pop.
Oh, okay.
He's got a controller in one hand and a headset in the other, and he's got you can't see it. It's all washed out, but he's got the Deadpool.
That's pretty dope.
There.
All right, nice. I'm wearing thong flip flops.
I kept you in flip flops, man. I figured you'd just be chilling at the house playing.
Okay, all right.
Very cool. Very cool.
It forced me to put pants on the guy.
Okay, I mean,
you can have a variant.
I generally wear shorts.
It's butt naked.
So that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't go that far. All right, get me out of here.
All right. Well, good shows, good pickups, and with that being said, let's get into. So wait, let me make sure. Yes, let's get into some news.
Breaking news.
It's time for the news.
Super low. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, yeah. So real quick, we got Macaulay Culkin. No real details on this, but he will be joining the cast of the Fallout series for season 2.
I heard that.
That's all I
Huh.
got on that one. Um,
It's been
yeah.
casting a lot recently.
Phoebe, if I said her name right, maybe it's Phoebe Waller Bridges. Uh, has an upcoming Amazon TV, upcoming Amazon Tomb Raider TV series, and they have cast Sophie Turner as Laura Croft. Do we all know?
That seems appropriate.
Yeah, as reported by Deadline, excuse me, it was revealed that Turner has now landed the role of Laura Croft in Tomb Raider. Turner said it's said to still be in the process of negotiating, so this might be a little bit of rumor-ish, but actually no, she's negotiating. So let's just say she got it if they play their cards right.
I think yeah, I think she'd be good at it.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, she was part of Game of Thrones. She was what was her?
She was the I forgot her name of Game of Thrones, but she married the Jonas brother.
Yeah, she married the Jonas brother.
And then, yeah, but yeah, she was one of the daughters of
Winterfell, right?
yeah,
Stark.
yeah, exactly. She was Stark.
Fantastic Four First Step. Official synopsis revealed that we are officially getting a female Silver Surfer. Um, Upcoming MCU is coming out coming out July 25th, 2025.
I thought that was
I think it
already
was
That was
official.
that was a rumor. Now it's actually official.
Is the lady
Yes,
cast still the
that's
same rumor? lady?
Julia Garner.
Oh, it's the girl from
Right.
Ozarks, right?
Ozark, yes, correct.
She's a great actress, and she was Anna Delvey in was it in the Netflix series? You look
And
poor. You look
Right.
poor.
you look poor. Oh wait,
Yeah, you never saw that one when
wasn't that
she was
like in jail for something?
yeah. She was fantastic in it.
Okay, all right. Wasn't she like a fashion designer or something to that nature?
No, so she was like this fake heiress that she just completely made it up and just scammed all these hotels. In fact, one of my clients was one of the hotels she scammed.
Okay, all right.
It was
Yeah.
based off a real
She was
event?
just a New York socialite who just decided that she was rich and famous, and she wasn't really rich, and she was just bumming off other people. And then finally it caught up to her, and she got locked up. She's on Dancing with the Stars. She's on Dancing with the Stars with a freaking ankle monitor on.
What?
Isn't that funny? Isn't that the same premise of 6 Degrees of Separation?
I never saw 6 Degrees of Separation.
That's all right.
Yeah, if you Google Anna Delvey, the
Basically,
person that
someone who
con artist.
All right.
nice. Now,
Yeah.
are we all
Anna-
glitchy, or is it just me on this side?
You're glitchy for me. Chris is all right. He's a little blurry, but he's all right. But you're like really
Blurry?
glitching. Slightly.
Nice. That's good. I'm paying premium for internet, and I'm glitchy.
That's great.
This is life. This is my problem. With
I
my
just signed
internet.
up for Starlink this week.
Starlink is dope. Like people they be streaming like on the road, like in the mountains, like streaming like game content.
$130 a month. That's not too bad.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
And you don't need internet anymore?
No,
Or is it in addition to?
It's not going to be in the house. It's going to be in I have it in my warehouse. I'm going to start mining in my warehouse. So my warehouse is in the middle of the boonies, and it's actually cheaper than doing traditional. So they send you. It's like $100. It's like $300 to start off. You get like this little it looks like a square that has a mount on it. And you mount it on your roof, and then that's it. High speed internet.
Yeah, Starlink is like, from my understanding, it's like mobile internet.
Yeah, you could use it anywhere.
Yeah, like all those traveling vloggers or people that like live in their vans and whatnot. Like I said, a few of them they stream, like they have gaming content in their vans, and that's what they use. They use Starlink. They all talk about Starlink and whatnot. I think freaking Joe Rogan was talking about it at one point.
Yeah, Elon Musk promised it to the troops in Ukraine so that they can use it to communicate back with like headquarters and stuff, so they can use for like military operations. And then he ended up backing out because he's Elon Musk.
Okay. Uh, before I go on, does anyone else have any news
Yeah, I
they
got
want to
some
throw in
news.
there?
So this was alluded to when we had friend to the show Jason on here, but John Bernthal is officially confirmed to return as Punisher. Yeah,
He's in the
Yeah.
trailer.
Same, but we broke it first. It came here on Three Brothers and Shot of Milk first.
Oh, is that
I
right?
want our
Is that what
flowers
that
and I
is?
want our recognition.
All right. Okay.
Right.
James Gunn addresses how the DCU Superman casting test destroyed Henry Cavill's Superman suit and quote torn to shreds. When a fan asked James Gunn about the suit, he said that Tom Brittany had accidentally torn Henry Cavill's suit during the audition.
And that's why,
That's
he
why
didn't get
Jack
cast.
never got his second Superman movie.
And
The suit got ripped, and that was it. It was over.
he also said that he said Tom tore it, and then Karin Sweet, probably messed that name up, came in as he was way too tall, and he also tore it. So yeah, he's
Too tall.
Apparently, he's taller than Cavill. Yeah. So the Superman suit messed up. Man of Steel suit is done. So they probably need to take it to the tailor to get it redone,
Huh.
repaired.
There's another $1 million.
Yeah.
I got a couple news
yeah.
things. So this was leaked this week. This is a set photo of How to Train Your Dragon, or it's a photo from How to Train Your Dragon. And here's another one, kind of the same moment.
Did you guys watch the cartoon movie?
I did. I watched the first one. I don't think I watched any of the others.
Yo, these dragons look just like the cartoon.
They do.
Cartoons were good, actually.
They have a series too. I know that.
And then, yeah. And then for you guys who are interested, if you live in Burbank just got a new statue in town.
Allegedly, our own Lawrence St. Victor modeled for the statue.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that's definitely alleged. But we got Jon Stewart here, Green Lantern, based off this
Nice.
comic image. And then for those of you interested, Burbank already has Wonder Woman, and there's the Batman statue you're all probably familiar with. So Burbank is putting together the Justice League in incredible statues. The next one rumored is supposed to be Superman. I'm hoping that drops corresponding with the movie.
Where are
probably.
these statues, Jack?
So the Batman statue, which is based off the Hush, and you can pull it up online if you want to. It looks incredible. It's like six, almost 7 feet tall. The Batman statue is located at, it's right in front of the AMC 16 movie theaters in Burbank, off the main stretch on San Fernando Road. Can't miss it. It's lit up. It's 24-hour access, so anytime, day or night, you want to go check him out, you can. The Wonder Woman statue is, yeah, that's the Batman.
Nice.
It's just sick. The Wonder Woman statue is outside the Warner Brother studio building. I have the address. Give it to you if you want. Let me see if I can find.
Let me ask you a question. Why, when they release like statues of like Dwight Howard or Dwayne Wade, they look nothing like it, but then they do like a Batman statue, and it's
Yeah.
like it's just amazing.
Because they're picking the wrong. They're clearly picking the wrong artist sometimes. Look how good that freaking Batman sculpture is, and it's even better in person. Listen, when you go up to this thing and it's massive, right? It's like it's just larger than human size, but it's like it has such presence. So I haven't seen the Jon Stewart. That one was released this last week on like Thursday or something like that, and that you can find at the Empire Mall by like by like the Walmart. It's by like it's across from like the Target by some burger joint on the other side of the Empire Mall. So if you're in Burbank looking for that, definitely check that one out. I'm probably gonna go. I want to go this week, so it's like 5 minutes away. There's no good excuse for me not to go check it out.
Nice.
All right.
Very cool.
All right. Well, we got this is like rumor-ish. It's not really anything substantial, official, but people are saying, more so Redditors, Chris's people.
My
They're
people.
saying that that the Penguin has laid down the groundwork for the Court of Owls for Batman Part Two, for the Batman Part Two. Sorry, put respect on the name. And we may have a Scarecrow. Some redditors have spotted in episode 4, sent to Annie, that they
Right.
saw the Scarecrow mask and syringe gloves on Julian Rush's office, which they weren't there on episode 2. Excuse me. So they're
Huh.
saying that maybe they're planting the seeds that he might be the Scarecrow.
That's what it sounded like. I saw that too.
So
He'd be a good. I still see him as Juice from Sons of Anarchy, but
yeah, yeah,
I feel like, you know what's funny? He's a great actor, but I feel like he suffers a little bit from Vin Diesel, The Rock, and like I feel like he plays the same role in everything. Like he was the same kind of thing when he was in Luke Cage, and I don't know. I feel like, and he's such a good performance, but I feel like he gives the same performance.
I feel like a lot of them do that though,
Well,
right? To a degree.
yeah. There's a couple different styles of actors, man. There's the Gary Oldmans who and like Daniel Day Lewis's, when they step into something, they disappear. You're like, it's a new
Rocky,
person, and then you got the Denzels. Like Denzel is a phenomenal actor, right? But he pretty much plays just off his own center for
Yeah.
pretty much everything, you know. I'm not saying his performance aren't versatile. He's one of the, I think, best actors in the game right now, and has been for a long time. But he doesn't really put on heavy. It's not like a heavy
it's
departure
not a
from
Johnny
who he
Depp
is.
who's
He's
different,
usually acting.
like a different person.
Right.
Right. Now Johnny Depp's going like an even further direction at this point. He plays like wild card characters, right? It's not like Gary Oldman who's playing, something that's profoundly dropped in but unrecognizable. Johnny Depp is often getting typecast as this wild card performance character, which is a fun role to play.
Yeah.
All right. I got one more bit if you guys don't have anything else.
I have one more thing.
Not so much like news, but I found it interesting. I came across it. But go ahead, Chris. I'll end up.
I think Venom: The Last Dance is nearing a new milestone. $400 million worldwide total.
Okay.
Because
And only 50,000
no,
domestic.
it earned 16.2 in its third week, but even though it had mixed reviews, it has very, very strong earnings. I'm just saying.
So maybe it won't be the
might not
last
be.
dance.
Might not be.
Man. Okay. All right. Okay. I came across this interesting article by a friend of the show, Sydney Sweeney. Right.
Friend of the show, definitely a friend of the show.
She's not really a friend of the show, but we like her. me and Chris like her. You know what I mean?
Yes, we do.
Anyway, hey, fist bump that. All right, there we go. All right. She pretty much says it's all fake. There is no women empowerment. She goes off saying that a film producer has badmouthed her, and then they put on the show saying that it's all women empowerment and this, that, and the third. But then behind closed doors, they're bashing each other, and she's just tired of it. I'm just like, man, that's.
I don't doubt it, because if women supported women, we'd have a very different president. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know about all that.
And we've gone
all
political.
that, but I just found that interesting. Like someone's actually speaking up about it rather than kind of putting on the veneer of everything's good, everything's nice.
Well, there's the individual's experience, right? Which isn't necessarily everyone's experience. But it doesn't surprise me that there's drama behind
Drama
most
with
stores that
women,
we're
Jack?
just not privy to. I'm not talking about women. I'm talking about what happens behind closed
Shop,
doors.
trade, supplies,
Don't
clutch my
misconstrue.
pearls.
Clutch my pearls.
Wow. Well, this was a nice run while it lasted. This will be our last cast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for
All right.
joining.
So that's the news. No one's else said anything else.
So I pretty much say this our last
Exactly.
show.
It
every
loses.
show.
You say so much, it loses all its meaning, Jack.
All right. So let's get into it, and we're gonna do a toss up here because we got. Oh, actually, no, there was one more. What are you guys' prediction on the Wonder Man? How do you think that's gonna play out? It's not really news. I put up the trailer. I don't know if you guys watched it.
Well, the
Yeah.
trailer
How do you
dropped.
think that's gonna play out? Because he's like a struggling actor. Trying to be out there. He has powers, which I'm not sure if the world knows he has powers. But he has powers. He doesn't want to use the powers. He wants to be known as an actor. How do you think they're gonna balance that? You got the actor that played the Mandalorian. I believe he's still playing that same guy. Who else? There was another gentleman in there, another woman, I believe. But how do you think that's your predictions? How do you think that's going to play out? What are we going to do with that?
It may be something different. That it might do well. It sounds like something different than what we were used to. So
Isn't the basis of it your most disliked trope though, Chris?
yeah, but he's not an iconic figure that wants to give it up. It's fun, and I'm not sure. And the thing is, I don't know if he wants to give up his powers. He just doesn't want to be known for his powers.
Have you either of you guys read
No.
the comics?
I got like the synopsis and like the quick rundown of the character that he is, and
Is this who he is in the comics?
I don't think so. I know he was well, from what I read in the wiki, he was an actor. His brain patterns was based off of, or I should say, Vision's brain patterns was based off of him. So I don't see that happening, considering Vision they went a different route with that. And he had like a major role within. Because of that, he had a major role with the Scarlet Witch because he ended up loving the Scarlet Witch or whatever. So I don't see them doing that as well, considering they went a different route. But
Right.
I don't know. It should be. I don't know. I'm not sure what to feel because again, this is MCU, and we don't know what Disney's going to be doing these days. So
Yeah. I'm curious. Like we have no real direction for the MCU. I mean, I guess we do now if they're gonna go. But we really don't know what's coming with the MCU. So if they do something like, I think it's. I mean, from the tone looks like it's serious. But if they were to do like a something different, like a Peacemaker, where it's kind of completely different than what we're used to seeing, it might do well. It might kind of combat that fatigue a little bit. So I'll check it out. Supposedly there was a deleted scene from Guardians of the Galaxy.
okay.
Where they had all his actor posters up in the background, and then let people speculate that he was going to be, showing up in the MCU eventually.
All right.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
So what do you think, Jack?
Yeah.
Volume 2.
Yeah,
that was a
2017
while
he showed
ago.
up.
Same
No,
actor,
I
or
don't,
just
I don't know. It wasn't
No,
the same
of course
actor. It was just the character, Simon. Simon Williams. I guess. No, I don't know, but the poster. So
All right.
I don't have much to say on this one. If being honest, I'm not really familiar with the comic book character from the source material. And the trailer to me was like, okay. I mean, I'll probably check it out. I'm curious to know more before I'll reserve judgment one way or the other at this point. I'm interested, but I'm not sure what I think I'd be getting into.
Yeah. Same.
But did they say now the future shows aren't going to necessarily have an impact on the MCU? Like you don't have to watch everything to.
Did they before?
Yeah.
Well, they were supposed to before. To be fair, they were supposed to before. They built up.
Did you watch WandaVision?
I did watch
And
WandaVision,
then
but
did
then
you
I
watch
watched the
Doctor
masterpiece that was
Strange?
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and yeah,
I'm sorry, I said what he did?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't play. I mean, I don't. If I'm watching, I'll probably watch. I'll give it 2 episodes. I'll give it 2 episodes just to support a fellow black act. Well, not a fellow black actor. Excuse me, a black actor. Because he's a pretty decent actor. I'm not. I
He
enjoyed the stuff
was
that he
he
was
was
in.
Black Panther, right? In
Yeah, I enjoyed him. I enjoyed when he played the roles. Like he didn't annoy me. But yeah. Listen, sometimes
our standard is getting so low. Is you just not have to annoy me, and then I'll support
that's what it is now. It's like I'll support it now because like you're not giving me much. Like it's wild. Like you're not giving me much in that regard. So it's like just don't annoy me and be somewhat entertaining, and I'll watch your stuff. But again, if the scripts are trash, and like I said, I'll give it 2 episodes. I'll give it 2 episodes. I really
Did
was that.
did we talk about Disney announced they're dropping the final season of What If?
Yeah, no, we
this
didn't
year?
talk about
We
it.
talked
I think we
about
talked
it
about it in
like
chat.
previous show. Yeah.
Last episode? Yeah. So that looks interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, we know we're getting Storm with Thor's hammer at some
Yeah.
point, which is cool.
We're also getting a Marvel Zombie series too.
Yeah.
But that's not connected to
No,
well, I mean, we did see zombies in the What If, so I guess it is connected to it, but it's not connected to this season specifically.
We'll see how that plays out. You never know what you're going to get from Disney nowadays.
never, ever, ever know.
All right. So with that being
Disney.
said, I guess we can get into it. Well, before you know what, let's just get into a debate, and we will go through that how we're going to do this. Why does that sound low?
Yeah, it sounds low. It's good. We got it.
Okay, so we got 2 debate questions. You guys can pick which one you want to do. The first one, it is in the movie Red One. Lucy Liu is a director of Mora, Mora, mythological oversight and restoration authority. If you were to create a sequel or spin-off sequel to Red One, what mythological creatures or persons would you like the story to focus on, and how would you play it out, or how would you
Okay,
see it play out?
so this is something that I thought about right when the movie was happening.
Oh, we going straight
Because
into it?
like
Okay.
we can do both questions, but
Nah, let's go. We're gonna do one. We're gonna do
it's
one.
just funny that this came up because I thought about this exact same thing when I was like, this could be a whole universe, and they can do stuff for it. Doesn't have they don't necessarily have to be Christmas movies, but when they gave that flash of Ichabod, spoiler alert,
Spoiler.
the Headless Horseman, that would be a dope thing to follow.
And how good did he look in
So
that?
I think this can become a universe, to be honest with you.
It's not to put the cart before the horse, because we're going to talk about the content, but it's almost what Universal was trying to do the monster thing with Tom Cruise, and this did it without doing it at all. Like, it actually established the whole universe with one cameo and a sentence, and you're sitting there going, "Oh, this is way bigger than just Santa Claus."
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So wait, so
I would
what was
do
your
that. I
answer?
would pick up right where we left off, right from Red One, and pick up like next Halloween. Have the Headless Horseman gets his head back, and they alluded to the fact that he was a top suspect because he causes a lot of trouble already. So then, if he's already causing trouble,
Right.
let him cause some trouble. I'm down with it.
That's pretty good. The Headless Horseman loose on Halloween. That's pretty good, Chris. I think you could do, even without seeing this movie, we all know mythological creatures, so on some level it's the question still applies. what mythological creatures would you like to see and how would you like to see it play out? And I'm thinking like you could even have like the Kraken or something.
Yeah.
Now, how that ties into a holiday theme, I'm not sure, but you could bring in that like in a prequel series or a prequel movie, right? That establishes how did Mora get established in the first
Right.
place, kind of series.
I mean,
Because Lucy Liu in the movie,
no, keep
go
going. No,
ahead.
I'm agreeing with you. Right. You can have a whole Mora. Let me ask you this: do you think the Mora would lend better to a movie or to a TV series?
So I don't know, but I mean, I think it wants to be a little. What worked about the movie is it has a little bit of an edge.
Yeah.
It's still fun family
Yes.
content, but it has an
Yes.
edge, right? And so I feel like it could be a fun prequel series. Forget about the holidays necessarily, and let's focus on the mythological creature element of it and people element of it, and start a prequel series with why Mora started out in the first place. And it could star Lucy Liu. I mean, we know these characters. Spoiler based off the movie, they're hundreds of years old, anyways,
Right.
right? They're not humans, and so we can see how did this establishment start, why was it necessary, and what creatures, if it's a series based thing, it's like the creature of the week kind of thing.
Yeah.
Who are we going after?
Didn't they have a show like what wasn't it Sleepy Hollow like that? The Sleepy Hollow show on Fox?
I didn't watch that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I think
Was
so.
it kind of? But like you could have Wolfman, you could have Dracula, you
I
could
think you have
have
to stay away from those kind of properties. I think you gotta stay away from the big monsters because that's almost already been done. But I don't know who. I gotta do some research to think of who we'd want to see. But like maybe, yeah, maybe like book characters. Like I'm trying to think who else. But like I'm sure if you put some thought into it, you can find characters that are in legend or stuff like that. Like or maybe you just go into like urban legends. Like you could do like the Jersey Devil. You could do all this stuff, and they could show up, and it'll be dope.
right. It's pretty open ended once you
Yeah.
start digging into it. Because we know it's like I said, it's pretty open ended, and just right off the book, right off the bat, they mention like the Loch Ness monster. They
Bigfoot. Yep.
mention Bigfoot, things like that. So it's like how do the characters get depicted is part of the question.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you go all
Um,
into cryptozoology, and you can grab that and use that. But I like the more fantasy type figures versus necessarily monsters. I like the magic and the power like that versus just having Bigfoot there because Bigfoot could just be a monster and that's it.
it's just a question of how does it play out. How about you, Rich? If you could pick a mythological creature or person to put in a content like this, who do you think you go with?
Judging by because I didn't watch the movie, judging by what you're saying here, I mean you can go anywhere from like the Loch Ness monster, but if you want to keep it like holiday esque, I'll probably do like a thing with leprechauns. Leprechauns are like uprising
Yo,
and
that would
causing
be
a problem in Ireland,
Right.
and they want to like take
That's
over the
good,
world or
actually.
something like
Now
that. Or
we're
they want to get like the world's gold. If you want to do like a kid thing, like they want all the world's gold.
that's pretty good, and we see in the
yeah. We see
movie
snowmen, we
snowmen,
see
right?
trolls,
So we know that,
we see
right? And you
yeah,
see that in the trailer too. Like you watch the trailer, you see that they're playing with snowmen, and they're pretty diabolical, right? So you could get like a leprechaun thing could work really well, actually.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay. Well, and what's the other debate?
Uh, sure. Okay. You must choose between invisibility or intangibility. Okay. Once you activate these powers, or once these powers become active, you have them, and you can never be turned off, and you have them for the rest of your life. All right. So, with that being said, invisibility it will turn you invisible, but obviously you're going to be naked. So whatever you put on, don't turn invisible with you. You're just. I guess the only downside of being invisible is that you'll be naked. All right.
no downside. Rich. We talking downside. That sounds like an upside
You
to
can,
me.
I mean, depends on
but you
you
can
can
put
put on
on
clothes.
clothes
Yeah.
if you're cold.
Now, intangibility, gravity works as normal, so you don't have to worry about just leaving the earth and falling through things. Gravity works as normal. You just kind of phase through things. Okay.
But then you could never really
Wait,
touch anything though.
no, I'll give you ability to control gripping things, so you can grab things, you can eat, and so on and so forth, right? But with also that, you not only become intangible physically, you become intangible mentally for people. So people, if they're not actively looking at you, they forget about you. So as soon as you have a conversation with someone, they turn around, they forget that you were even there, or they forget that they even had a conversation. They'll remember having a conversation with someone, and it'll just be like, wait, who was that? And then you can like dip off if you want to, and they'll never even realize it.
So wait. So if I become the supervillain I'm destined to become,
Mhm.
Wow, here we go.
and I become intangible, and I create, say, I steal from the world's bank or I steal from Fort Knox, everyone's just gonna forget after a while that I took.
But you
Wait,
really wouldn't
wait,
be.
but watch
Would
this.
you?
Wait.
I mean, you would, but
Yeah, because you couldn't have a
Exactly.
team of anybody. You'd give them instructions, they'd walk out the door, and they forget what they're doing.
Yeah.
But if I'm
That's-
invisible, then I could just put on clothes and be like the turtles undercover. I'll just put on a trench coat and a hat everywhere I go.
Well, you can still put makeup on and contact lenses.
Yeah, that's true. Damn, Rich. Yeah,
Prosthetic
that's
teeth.
true. I think I'll go with the invisibility then.
My question is, what is the perk of
You
intangibility?
can phase through
just
stuff.
phase through stuff. Yeah. Just phase
You
through
just
stuff.
phase
You can
through
walk
stuff.
through whatever you want to.
But then if I phase through a wall to be intangible, but my clothes are not intangible, then by the time I get to the other
It
side of the
doesn't
wall,
matter.
I'm
People
just
are
a
gonna
naked
forget
dude.
anyway.
Nudity is the key point on both of these. Okay.
So would you rather be naked in public or naked invisible? Is that
I'd
that's the
rather
nature
be
of the
naked.
question?
I
I'll
could just
be-
be naked in public.
I'll be naked invisible. I'm gonna be honest.
Naked invisible. Naked invisible. I think invisible is the way to go. Because then
I think. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just think you can just be. I think I don't know. What's going to yield? Okay, the naked part is great, but what's going to yield more toward you acquiring supervillainous powers?
No one.
I forget supervillainous powers. Like being the Invisible Man and having your picture on the cover like Time magazine is hysterical.
Let's see a blank cover. But then you could claim that anytime there's a blank cover, you could claim they're using your likeness. You're right.
I'm on it. Right, they use my likeness. I think I would have to go with invisibility because being intangible just sounds so lonely,
Yeah.
man. Like that'd be devastating not to be able to connect with people and maintain those connections and relationships. It's like, what's the point of life? Conversations like this, having conversations with your friends, being able to dream with someone or share your thoughts, and to have nothing to sustain that other than yourself for the rest of eternity. That seems pretty isolating. So I guess I'm free balling in a naked capacity and just rocking it.
I agree with you, Jack. I'm naked. I'm butt naked walking through these streets.
Say, I mean, naked with clothes. I mean, I feel like I can work out being naked and invisible, or just being invisible, because I could put clothes on and everything. I mean, not like anyone would notice,
Put
But
clothes
I
on.
feel like something can be worked out with that. And then, I might not be a supervillain like Chris wants to be, but maybe I could work for the CIA or something. I'd be like an asset to the
Right,
world.
but you'd be in like.
But I'll be naked.
I think it'd be dangerous. There's a certain level of. But what about like creatures that see your infrared?
What about them? They're
Yeah,
not
you
using them.
still have a heat signature.
Yeah, they're not using
That's
creatures
right.
to
You
hunt
still
me
have
down.
a heat signature.
Yeah, but
Well, but your boys are out, so they're in danger.
They'll be out. They'll be all right.
yeah, I think the key is you need to become a ghost. You need to become an urban legend, because the second you go mainstream, everyone's just going to buy night vision goggles or heat vision goggles
Right.
and just overpower you quickly. So you
Well,
have to
technically,
You think the entire populace
no,
is going to
but
buy?
maybe the people
heat
that
vision goggles?
that you're threatening will. So you need to become a legend. You need to become like. You can't let people.
With
Have you guys
intangibility.
read the League of
Say that?
Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Say that again?
Have either of you guys read the League of Extraordinary
I never
Gentlemen?
read.
No, I saw the
I
movie.
think I saw the terrible movie with Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Oh, the movie's horrific. The book is the graphic novel is actually surprisingly good. It's even better when you compare it to the tragedy that was that movie. But the Invisible Man is one of the characters in it, and he's a degenerate. It's like he goes into these nunneries, and they start having like immaculate conception. Is how
Okay,
bad this dude is.
I'm not raping nuns, but you know,
Okay, easy. Hey, easy.
I'm just walking around with my junk out. I'm not violating nobody.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's not what I'm getting at. But like horrific in the graphic novel, what he does with those powers are horrific. And then they enlist him to be a superhero.
I should be on a list.
These guys are
What they
horrible.
all what?
Yeah. So they left.
Uh,
that out of the
yeah,
movie.
good thing they did because it would not have been good. I mean,
that would've
being
been-
intangible, you can kind of have yourself a little legacy. You can kind of, but you're gonna have to write it down. Like,
How do you have a legacy?
no,
You
you
have
can
your
spray
own
paint, like,
legacy.
so people won't be able to remember you from seeing you, but like you can write down like you did this thing, like Chris was here, type of thing.
Yeah.
So you'd be
Yeah,
like
I
Banksy.
guess.
Like that, Chris, you could be like Banksy. Why not? Like, yeah, I stole all those millions and the genetics for things. Nah, okay.
Nah.
Figure I'll try. You get a lot more done. You got to do it by yourself. You get a lot more done.
Nah, I need to.
Or you could
actually-
work it around. You could communicate electronically to people. Just be that shadow in the background.
Yeah, but yeah, your villain life may be more. But your alter ego life is going to be terrible still.
No, you said it right the first time. Your villain life. That's what you are, Chris. You're a villain. All right? You're a monster. Okay. All right.
I don't want to hurt people. I just want them to fall under my rule. That's all. So that everyone can be truly happy. And
You think that's going to happen without hurting a few people? Like what?
yeah,
Kind of
Yeah.
crack a few eggs.
I can make an omelet. But once I take the free choice away from you and you fall under my rule, you would truly be happy.
That is great. That is great. Coming from an American and a Texan at that. Like, come on. Let me take your free choices away. Yeah.
Do you identify as a Texan?
I think no. Yeah, I guess. I mean, no, I don't. But
Mm.
firearmly, yes. But
Firearm.
taxes wise, yes. But nah, not really. I'm still a New York guy. Getting me
Okay.
fitted in my Timbs. I'm all right.
It's the last time you wore fitted and Tim's.
Fitted and Timbs together. It's been a
Yeah.
while since I combined them together. To be fair, but they're in my heart, Rich. The Timbs are in my heart.
All right. So everyone's invisibility, and Chris is still going to be a bastard about it. Got it. All right. That's a good debate. Excuse me. Shall we move on to the main event?
Sure.
Oh, let's.
All right. Well, we'll start off with the. What's that?
Which one you want to hit first?
We'll start off with the red one. Did I? No. I couldn't find a good red one logo. That's why. Yeah. So we'll start off with red one.
That's all
I'll
right.
let y'all take the lead on that because I unfortunately, or fortunately, got busy and I was able to pay some bills off. So, yeah.
Well,
floor is yours.
unfortunately, it was.
Well, so in all fairness, though, this could actually work for our benefit. So if we're saying stuff that don't make sense, that means it probably don't make sense for anyone watching this. So feel
right.
free to ask questions. So do you want to? All right. So let's hash it out. We'll just kind of quickly recap stuff as we go. Yeah.
absolutely.
All right. So red one. Can I start by saying what is this movie, and how is this one of the? Was this one of the best
How
movies
is
that
this
come
movie
out
so
this year?
freaking fun? Okay,
How is this movie so freaking good?
For a family Christmas movie, it had more butts and more profanity than a music. We expect some butts and some profanity, but just had a little bit more than expected.
Now, when you say butts, do you mean actual
For what
naked
this
butts?
movie,
No, just girls and thongs.
I mean, there are some bikini
Interesting.
shots. I mean, there
Gratuitous
was that.
bikini shots, Jack.
I mean, they did go to the Bahamas, and you're
Aruba.
sitting here going, "Why? Oh, the wide
Yes.
shot. Oh, Aruba.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of
right.
wide shots.
But here's what I like about it. I'm gonna give it a little bit of spoiler free, and then we get into it. But on the surface, it's very, very silly, right? It's it's a typical Christmas movie. They have to save Christmas. Santa Claus has been kidnapped, and we have to save Christmas.
Yep.
But the way it's treated and the way it's acted, it's like it's so serious. It's got depth. They're taking it.
It's got depth. Well, but that's largely because the casting. You can't cast J.K. and not get depth.
Right. And that's what you remember a while ago when I said let's watch a movie and let's like a silly movie and let's review it as if it was like Oscar worthy. Like I feel like this is what they did. They took it's funny because they understood what the movie was about. They understood the tone of the movie, but they gave it such depth. It made the movie so fun and so like engaging that it was just a great movie.
This is the only Santa Claus movie I can think of where Santa feels real. Like he has an edge. He's got a personality. He's not just holding.
Santa's shoulder pressing 315. He says, "Let's go heavy." Let me go to 405.
And you're sitting here going, "Why is Santa working out so hard?" But then it's earned, dude.
He's like, "Look, I burn 4 million calories, 4 point something million calories every Christmas. I gotta keep it up."
Yeah. The casting is good. The writing in this is good. I did not think. I thought I was probably going to enjoy the movie, but I didn't think I was going to walk away going, what did I just? This was great. And I would say
I'm happy you said that. I'm happy you.
Listen, it's not Braveheart, but the content isn't trying to be it. For
Right.
what it is in its lane. I really can't think of another Santa Claus themed movie that.
Not even the Santa Claus.
No, not even this. No, of course not. No, which was fun, But this movie had an edge, which is what I liked about it, and I really appreciated the world building of it.
Yes.
All right, so here's the movie. Let's spoil it a little bit. And Rich, chime in as much as you can or you like.
Okay.
So the movie starts out a couple days before Christmas, and Santa Claus is in the mall. And we know it's actually Santa Claus because we've seen the trailer and we know what this movie is about to be about. We know it's actually about Santa Claus. So the fact that he's a mall Santa is really kind of odd way to start the film. And then we quickly understand as he's leaving that for him, connecting with the kids and getting with the people is like breathing really fresh, oxygenated air. He needs this.
Okay. Right. I was going to ask you, like, is that one of the reasons why he did it to be connected with the people? Because if you think about Santa Claus, he doesn't really connect with the kids. He gets the letters, but after that, he's every night or Christmas night, he's out there just delivering gifts. He's pretty much by himself with the reindeers.
That's exactly right, and they play that element up so well in this film that Santa's whole calling, mission in life is to connect with the kids and give them joy, like something, some kind of tangible joy they can take with them. And we really get that plays out later through the eyes of Dwayne Johnson's character. And Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, at the beginning of the film is, you see, he's a little jaded, and we find out that he's actually been in this position with Santa for over 300 years now.
542 years. He said he needed someone 300 years old. He said you need someone younger. That was a joke. You need someone younger who's 300 years old to work with you. He's been doing 542 years.
Right. So he's been working for Santa in this role for about half a century, and he's jaded. He says he's lost the ability to see it, and we don't exactly know what he means. We think it's metaphorical. Later, we find out it's literal. But he's
Right.
lost the ability to see what Santa sees, and Santa's been doing this for a long time.
Centuries.
Centuries. And then the movie gets interesting because as they're leaving the mall, there's like a motorcade brigade of people to escort
president.
Santa.
It's
Like
like the
president
president.
level.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's like army general there. Like a handful of people really know who Santa is, even though he's so under wrapped and high profile. But we see this like presidential treatment. And then they take his reindeer are there. And Chris, coolest depiction of reindeer in any film?
Coolest depiction of reindeer. They're like 10 feet tall, jacked stallions. They're
Females, every one of them, like ready to go.
Yep.
And what the part about them being females is so endearing because The Rock has such a charming relationship with them, as does Santa. And it's almost like, there's that line, it's in the trailer, it's even better in the movie, where Santa's like engaging with the reindeer, and then he's like, "Oh, your boyfriend."
Yeah.
He's sitting here going, and then The Rock gives them all like, what does he give them? Pretzels or
Pretzels, like
something?
the Auntie Anne's pretzels from the mall.
That's so good. It was just such a great movie. Like, I might actually go watch this movie again. It was so enjoyable. And so then there's like some Harrier jets, right, that take off, and then Santa's next on the runway, and they say, "Red one, you're ready for takeoff," and you get the whole movie right there. You're like, got it, love it how you did that. He's red one, and then he takes off, and the reindeer are fast, dude. They catch up with the jets, who are side by side, and then Santa has this great moment where he's like, "Thanks for the escort, boys. I got it from here." And then JK lets out this visceral,
It's like it's like huzzah, but it's because he says it again.
whatever it is,
Some word he says, and then they just like almost like warp speed, Star Wars warp speed through a portal, bam, and they're out.
Yo, man, and yeah,
so portal transportation.
It's dope. It's dope. It's just dope. Call it what it is. It's dope. It's cool.
It's sick. No, but they're traveling at super high speeds, right? Because we know that it creates a seismic shockwave, like a seismolic like earthquake event kind of thing. Okay. Now we skipped the first scene. The first scene is actually a young Chris Evans who steals the keys from his uncle or something.
Yeah.
Because his father's missing. Has been missing most of his childhood, and he opens up a closet to show the other kids at the holiday party that the closet is filled with presents and Santa don't exist. And so we know right off the bat that his character is
a scumbag.
He's a kid.
Wow.
He's a capable thief, right? We get that right off the bat. The kid is smooth. We know he's jaded. He's got this really great interaction with his uncle where you feel you just feel like life has been ugly to him right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
And then we cut to the Santa Claus stuff we talked about. Now we cut to an older Chris Evans 30 years later, and the guy is a scumbag. We see him, he's stealing, he orchestrates this whole thing to steal to put a clip on a thing so he can radar track these seismic events. Now, what he doesn't know is why he's doing it. He's just making a hella payday.
So he's very much like a hacker, right? We hear him on the phone with his bookie. He's betting on a boxing match, and he's
like a hacker though. The guy is like a competent fighter. He's agile. He's jumping over buildings later. The guy's smooth, right? Yeah. We saw that as a kid. He definitely capitalized on all those capabilities. He's a scumbag though. Like he literally in his first scene, he steals candy from a baby. And you can't get any more. I mean, the script is telling you exactly who he is. He's stealing candy from a baby, and it is wonderful to watch him do it.
Right.
Like watching him be a scumbag is so enjoyable. And it's like this is the best of Chris Evans, right? It's like we've seen wonderful performances all throughout his career. I mean, right off the bat with like Johnny Storm, right, and that whatever that Fantastic Four movie was, he was great in it. He is great in this.
And
In every
even
moment.
what you saying is one from looking at watching him being a scumbag, gray man.
Yes,
He was a
it's very
psychopath.
much. It's very reminiscent of Gray
And-
Man.
but he was enjoyable the whole time.
Yes,
Yes,
that's exactly right. This is, and you can tell he's having fun, but he's not one dimensional. He's not like a mustache twirling villain character. You can see he's just jaded, man. He's living life how he needs to live life to survive life.
Yep.
But he ain't a good. He's not a good person, and he's a father. He's kind of a deadbeat dad with a poor relationship with his son, and his philosophy is, my son's better off with me out of his life, so I'm going to avoid being in his
His
life.
wife, his baby mama's a doctor. She remarried. They have a good life, and all he can do is not he doesn't see himself as any positive addition to his kid's life.
Right. So he's staying out of it.
Could have been a stay-at-home dad. You know?
Could have been.
That's an option now.
Kind of, right? And so quickly what happens is there's this great scene between JK and Dwayne. The Rock's character gives his letter of resignation. He basically resigns from the position he's had for about half a century, and he says can't do it anymore. And they talk about it. I think for me, Chris, this was one of the best acting scenes in the movie that had surprising depth.
Yeah.
And subtext.
So he pretty much he's saying how The Rock is going over the stats and saying how for the first time there's more naughty than nice, and JK the Santa Claus is saying for the positive, like, what we do matters, and he's just like pretty much saying my heart's not in it anymore, and I'm jaded, I'm disenchanted, and I just can't do it anymore.
And what was cool is JK goes, he doesn't fight him. He's got like this all-knowing subtext without saying anything, like in his eyes, and he goes, one more ride then, and tonight's the last night, and you're like, I don't know what that ride's going to be, but I'm down to see how this plays out. And they shake hands, and it's not like the Predator shake hands, but it is a binding handshake that you feel, right? It's got resonance.
But it's like I thought they were going to do it because JK's arms are looking big in this, man.
Yo, yes, and they definitely drop that. Like, this guy is definitely fit on some kind of level we don't understand. And then quickly following that, The Rock is outside. He's having a moment of reflection. He's kind of like contemplating this is going to be the last thing. He's kind of depressed, you can tell. And he notices something funny in the building. And I'm going to fast track a little bit. Santa Claus is kidnapped. Yep. And there's an epic chase that ensues. And The Rock is like, man, this guy is like really good at his job. Like really good at his job. And he manages to catch the decoy vehicle just to find out it's a decoy, to see another like jet kind of thing fly away,
yeah.
And Santa
and
Claus.
That's when they're on a mission to save Christmas.
They're on a mission to save Christmas.
So
we're
2 days away from Christmas at this point.
Right, 48 hours. This is where we get Lucy Liu's introduction, and she is the head of Moira. Mythological creature thing.
Cool. And research. Yeah.
Restoration authorities. And so she quickly goes into action. They start bringing in the usual suspects. They manage to somehow, I forget how they figure out that this Jack character played by Chris Evans.
So how they figured it out was she was like, there was a break-in at the Seismic Research Center. And like, we think it might be connected. And like, who did it? And like, it's the Wolf. So he's very much like a Neo type character from the Matrix. Not Neo as in the one, but Neo as the hacker. So he's like this Neo type character where everyone knows him by reputation, but no one knows who he is. And like, everyone wants him to work because he's the best of the best when it comes to tracking.
He's a level 4 naughty lister.
That should let you know exactly how bad this dude is.
What we don't know is
what are the levels?
We don't know that.
4 is high, Rich. 4 is real high.
Okay.
And we know it's high by the way they say it. But we don't get the sense that he's like a level 5 naughty lister. But we get the sense that
definitely
level
not a level 5. Absolutely not a level 5.
right. But we get the sense that there's probably not that many levels to the list.
Okay.
Right? He's stealing candy from a baby. This guy's a horrible person. He's high up the naughty list.
He's bad, but he's not like
he's not. Yeah, he's not.
murderer bad. Like
Yeah, he's not that bad. So they go try to pick him up, and he's surprisingly adept. Man, this guy is taking people out, dodging punches. Everyone's getting zapped. Eventually, long story short, he gets caught. They take him to the North Pole complex. No, they take him back to Lucy Liu's complex. But then the Rock shows up, right?
Yep.
Like they don't go back to the North Pole yet.
No,
She takes him to,
she puts him in a crate, and he opens up. She's chained to a chair, and the Rock comes out with Garcia, who's a giant talking polar bear. He's like, Garcia, like do your thing, and like Garcia's gonna go.
Garcia's about to actually rip him apart.
Yeah, like disembowel him.
Like Garcia's got depth.
Yeah,
like these characters have texture and depth. It's so much fun. And so, long story short, let's fast track this a little bit. Long story short, they end up inducting him into the team. Lucy Liu decides to put him to work because we need to track down whoever it was. And Chris Evans tells him basically, listen, I'm not an idiot. I put in a little bit of fail-safe for me in case someone decides not to pay me. I can follow up on it. So he kind of knows where to go, and it ends up being, where is it?
Aruba.
So they go to Aruba, and The Rock quickly kind of lets us into the way some things work, right? They go to a toy shop. He's like, grab a practical car. He grabs some sock'em bopp'em robot little minifigures.
He never used the Monopoly. He grabbed a Slinky. He never used any of the other stuff. He grabbed Monopoly. He grabbed Slinky. He grabbed the Rock'em Sock'em robots. And then he told Chris Evans to grab a car, something practical. Chris Evans grabs a Corvette Hot Wheels.
Yeah, it's possible he just wanted the other stuff for his collection. It's also possible that there was other stuff shot for the film that we just never saw.
There has to be other stuff shot because why would they make such a big deal about seeing him grab those specific things off the shelves and never reference it again?
Yeah, I don't know. But they do. So the way it works is he is able to zap this object and change the object's reality.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So he zaps the Hot Wheels car and he changes the reality for the Hot Wheels car, turning it into a car. And
Chris Evans is like, let me grab a Wonder Woman toy.
Yeah, and he spends much of the film looking for a superhero female action figure. And The Rock tries to insist that's not the way the technology works. You're just not going to understand it, but that's not how it works. But it's fun. So then they go to Aruba, and weird fun fact, toy store closets are an interdimensional portal that can take you to wherever it is you want to go. So they exit one toy closet to come out of a toy closet in Aruba, and then they walk to the beach where we have a lot of gratuitous bikini shots.
Bikini shots.
Thongs are back?
And
they never went out.
They are in Aruba.
They never went out? Okay, all right.
They are in Aruba. And so then they... again, we see how adept Chris Evans is. He doesn't know who he's looking for, but they're on a beach, and he goes basically to The Rock, you're doing it wrong. This is who we're looking for. And The Rock's like, how do you know that? And he goes, because only 3 people on the beach are wearing shoes. You, me, and that guy. And so they follow the guy in shoes, who leads them to a few other guys in shoes. Chris Evans recognized tattoos on the guys. These guys are dangerous. And The Rock is like, I'll handle it from here. And he does. And then
fights like Ant-Man.
He fights kind of like Ant-Man, but he doesn't get like super small. He just gets like elf small.
Half size. Yeah, like half size.
Like
he does this thing where he clicks his heels together and he shrinks, but he still has the same power, the same strength. And he's just like beating these guys up.
A lot of ball punches.
A lot of ball punches.
Is The Rock an elf?
What happened?
Is The Rock an elf?
He works for ELF, but
so
ELF is an acronym.
Yeah, ELF is an acronym for, like, I forgot what it stands for. But we never find out what, but he alludes that he's not human. He specifically says that he's not human, so we don't know what he is. But he's not.
We don't know what he is, but he's not human.
Okay.
And don't get the sense that anyone in the North Pole is human.
No one's human.
no one's human except for Chris Evans later
Yeah.
when he's in the North Pole. So there's that. So then they end up finding the guy, defusing the thing, and the guy tells them who the person responsible is, but you can't say her name because she's a witch, and if you say her name, she'll hear you. So the Rock tells the dude to write her name in the sand, and then Chris Evans obviously
Says
reads
it
the
out
name
loud.
out loud, and they're all going, "What did you just do?" And then instantly things get bad. And so we quickly find out that the antagonist of the film is this witch, Grindel.
Grit, something like that. Yeah, I forgot. Don't say it though; she'll show up.
Right. Well, they say
Yeah.
her name wrong just about every time too. Like they struggle to say her name, so it's no wonder we're struggling to say her name. But it's this witch who used to work with, moving kind of ahead in the movie,
Hold
used
on,
to
real
work
quick.
with.
I want to cut in real quick. First of all, what's going on? Remember wife's birthday on Twitch,
Yeah.
and I've noticed that we don't have. I just went to our channel. We're the chat's active. Well, for whatever reason, it is not showing up on our end. So I want to
Oh,
apologize, and we will try to get it right in the next show. All right. So
Oh yeah, we don't
everyone,
have any.
that's weird.
keep watching us, please. We are grateful. But yeah, the chats are not popping up on our end on the software that we're using. All right, keep going.
Um. Yeah, we didn't. I didn't even for half the stream. It said there was no one even watching the thing.
Yeah,
So for what's that's worth, welcome to the show, whoever's out there. And yeah, like Rich said, we're not seeing any of the chats today. So
yeah. I don't
sorry,
think
we're
it's
not
us.
talking to you guys. So if you want to read some of them, go ahead. But I'll keep pushing on in the meantime.
Yeah, keep
So what
pushing.
happens next is we get introduced to the antagonist, the witch character, who we find out that way back in the day she was working with Santa's brother,
Adopted brother Krampus.
Krampus, who is a figure
Oh,
in this movie.
Krampus. Yes. Okay.
Yes. And so this witch was working with Krampus way back in the day, and they felt like, and Krampus had actually started the naughty list. So Santa and Krampus were working together. Krampus was like, shouldn't be giving presents to everybody. He started the naughty list way back in the day. And Santa kind of never liked the idea of the naughty list, but he kind of took it over and he hid it from his brother because he didn't want people getting punished. You know, he was like, maybe we just won't give them presents, but we're not going to punish them. Krampus wanted to punish the naughties, and so did this witch, like really wanted to punish them.
Punished.
And so that's the nature of what's going on. So quickly we understand she has abducted Santa to harness his powers in a way to punish the global population of naughty people. And that's where the movie takes this kind of interesting kind of meta approach of kind of talking about right and wrong and being good and bad. And Chris Evans' character is definitely a bad person who seems not to have the potential for redemption, which of course this is a Christmas movie, so we see him eventually get it. So cutting ahead, they go to Santa's brother Krampus, right? Because they think, well, he was in cahoots with the witch, so maybe they're in cahoots again. He's probably responsible for stealing Santa. So they break into Krampus's place. And they are living 365 days Krampus,
Yeah. So
right?
you know what I liked about this? So flash for a little bit, but there's not just good and evil in this, right? There's different levels where people, well, Krampus is not. Krampus is set up to be like this big villain, but he's not. He disagrees with Santa, but he's not the bad guy. And I thought that was cool that you have like it wasn't so like it was just such a dichotomy where you're either good or you're bad. There's this there are people who are kind of in the middle, like kind of like our main character Jack, but kind of in the middle, but don't necessarily agree with either side. So I thought that was kind
Right.
of cool.
Yeah, and what was so great about Krampus was,
He looked great too.
oh, he looked great. Well, he needed it for a movie of this scale. He needed to look great, and he did look great, and he was fun,
Yes.
right? He had this kind of he looks like, like a demonic kind of creature, as Krampus is often depicted.
Right.
But he's also like this kind of Nordic. He's got a large royal kind of regal presence to him, but he's also kind of dirty and grounded. He's almost like a Viking
Yes.
kind of persona,
Yeah.
right?
He's drinking.
He's
They're
like
drinking.
Nordic.
They're partying. They're playing like slaps. They're slapping each other until they get knocked out. So it's awesome. And even the characters, the vulture guy looked great. All the background characters look, and I like that they used practical effects and makeup versus just CGI. Yeah, his tail was CGI, and I'm cool with that. But I think it translated better to have the practical makeup and kind of effect versus than just CGI.
I think so too, and it goes back to world building. Like we see trolls, and the funny thing about trolls is they are trolls on the internet, like they're internet trolls.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
So it's like it's good world building in this. So basically, The Rock and Chris Evans break into Krampus's place. They quickly get caught because Chris Evans steals a piece of gold. They get caught instantly. They're put in prison, like a dungeon, and then they're brought to meet Krampus. And Krampus basically tells them, well, they go back and forth, and then he's like, listen, here's the deal. Chris, Jack, I'm going to let you go. You can go off, go do your thing. You're a human. You shouldn't be here anyways. And The Rock, you're going to stay here for the rest of eternity with us. You'll learn to love it. And The Rock's got this great moment where he really tries to appeal to Krampus's better side. And he does it in a way where we know Krampus has a better side, and we think he might actually go with them, but he decides not to. And then Chris is about to leave, where he stops, and he has a weird moment for his character where he just can't leave, and he decides to talk to Krampus for the first time. And basically what he says is, we challenge you, right? Our guy, The Rock's character, versus you in a game of Krampus Schlamp, and when the winner takes all. So if we win, we walk away. And if
That's the slap game.
That's the
name?
slap game. Yeah,
he goes, if we win, we walk away, and if you win, we both stay here. And and Krampus's reaction is so good. He basically laughs at what a bunch of imbeciles they are. Right? He says that, right? You bunch of imbeciles. I love it. I love it. I love it. You bunch of imbeciles. Let's play the game. And so The Rock takes his best slap, and it's a hard slap.
Yep.
And Krampus looks at him and is like, interesting. My turn. And he puts his hand on The Rock's head.
And his hand is the size of The Rock's head.
His hand is like 5 times bigger than The Rock's head. And he slowly puts it here once. And you see The Rock going, it's just realizing how much he hurt. He put a hand a second time. He's like just kind of like feeling it. And The Rock is realizing this is going to be the end of his life. And he put a hand on the third time. He's like, should I kill him in one blow or let's have some fun with this. We don't destroy him in one hit. Right. And so he gives him what we're supposed to believe is kind of like a gentle hit. And it sends him to the floor with the biggest whelp on his head. And he's like, is my face still there?
He's all disoriented. He manages to get himself up.
Go ahead.
So Chris Evans is like, so it's The Rock's turn to slap him. So The Rock is what he's been using to change. I forgot what they called it, but he has this gauntlet that he wears that gives him power. So what Chris Evans did is he uses his thievery abilities, takes the gauntlet back from one of the guards and slides it on The Rock. So The Rock squares back here. Chris Evans slides the gauntlet. You see it light up, and then he's like, bam! And then he hits Krampus. And then Krampus gets rocked, and then they're able to get out of there.
Well, it creates enough diversion, just enough time where they're able to get the Rock'em Sock'em robots up, and they end up
the Rock'em Sock'em robots. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And so they get out of Krampus's place, and they're catching their breath, and The Rock says he stops. he stops Jack and he goes, "I misjudged you." And Jack's confused. He's like, "No, I misjudged you because I thought there was no redemption for you and for people like you, but I was wrong." And this is where the movie takes an interesting turn because we're starting to learn about redemption through two people who thought it wasn't possible for one person, right? And so and there's such an excitement coming out of what they just went through, and because Chris Evans' character, he kind of agrees to the terms quickly, but he's also completely thrown off by the reality. He does a good job balancing how a person might respond to learning that the world is not at all what we thought it was, right?
Right.
Without making it the whole thing. Like, you still got to go through the movie. And so there's such an excitement with when they escape from this thing that The Rock says, "We're going to save Christmas." And it feels like this really, like, it feels monumental, right?
Yeah.
In a subtle way, but it feels big. It feels palpable. And, Chris is like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And he's like, "No, man, you have to say it. We're gonna save Christmas." And then Chris like, yeah, we're gonna get Christmas moving. He goes, no. I know you feel it. I know it's in there now. You have to say it. And so they have the moment where Chris is like, "All right, we're going to do this. We're going to save Christmas." And you're like, "Okay, cool. This is where the movie's on. Go." And then they're driving down the road, and meanwhile, the witch has been harnessed and putting it into little.
Right.
And the idea of the snow globe is that it traps the naughty person into the globe and sends it back to the owner of the snow globe.
Because her
And so
her whole goal is she's pretty much like, Santa, you have this power to make a difference in the world and you're not using it. And I'm gonna take your power, harness your power, and really punish all the naughty people.
right. And on some level, she might be right for doing it, you know?
Yeah, but she has no levels. Everything to her is a mortal sin. If you're there's no
Jaywalker.
like, yeah, exactly. There's no venial
Oh,
sins, there's no mortal sins.
yeah.
That's it. If you're naughty, you're naughty. There's no levels of naughty.
Right. It's just naughty or nice. You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
But still,
You don't feel she's completely wrong?
man, I mean, I wouldn't mind if some people who don't pick up their dog crap were just kind of like in a bubble for a while, at least for a while. I'm like, people who litter and just don't consider other people, who cut you off or don't use their blinker who habitually. I, you know, I, I
Jack wants all BMW drivers in,
I'm just saying,
snow
the
globe.
witch isn't so far
BMW
off,
drivers are the worst.
right? And so anyway, she is now starting to beta test whether or not this thing is going to work, and she sends one of them to Chris Evans' character, right?
Yep.
We saw her going through the list alphabetically, but then she decides to jump to Chris's character. Let's get the ball rolling. He's a problem anyway. Let's see if this thing works. And she's diabolical, man. She not only sends it to him, she sends it to his son,
His son, yep.
and they're FaceTiming at the same time, and his son is pulled into his own little snow globe and sent to a dungeon. And so Chris ends up being heroic, and he grabs the globe knowing it's going to transport him somewhere he don't want to be, but wherever that is probably where
That's
his
where
son
his son
is.
is. Yep.
And they both end up on a shelf next to each other in a dungeon. And he's telling The Rock, "Come find me, man." And so, long story short, The Rock basically puts it together. How is it possible that she's able to use this device where you would need a certain amount of power to be able to harness it? You would need Santa's power, probably. And the only facility that would allow that to happen is in the North Pole.
Is the North Pole.
And so they put together that when Santa was abducted, there was two vehicles, and they were both probably ruses. And the North Pole is probably overrun by this point by shapeshifters.
Right.
And so he calls Mrs. Claus and it's like, "Hey, Mrs. Claus, what are you doing?" Mrs. Claus is depressed. She's baking cookies for Santa, and he's like,
But
"What
she's
kind of
making macaroons.
All right. He goes, "What kind of cookies are you baking?" He says, "Macaroons." And goes, "Oh, I'm sure."
Wait, so
She's a liar. Santa Claus hates macaroons.
It's
okay,
very much
all
Terminator
right,
2 moment,
all
Rich.
right.
It's like Terminator 2 where he's like, "What's he's like he's like your parents are dead."
Right.
Wolfie,
Because
yeah, because Wolfie.
obviously the cookie of choice would be chocolate chip cookies, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and Santa likes all kind of cookies, snickerdoodles, but not macaroons. And so the Rock knows that's what's up. The shapeshifters taking over the North Pole. That's where Santa's being held, probably in the the underground passages down there. And so they go back to the North Pole. In which case, at which point, cut to Chris Evans and his son are having a real heart to heart moment, and Chris acknowledges his shortcomings as a father, as a person, that he's been bad, that he genuinely wants to be better. He wants to be there for his son. And something nuts happens. The snow globe starts glowing and it bursts, and they're both natural human sizes again. And they don't entirely know what happened or why, but they hug. The audience knows what happened. We get it.
Yeah,
We
they
know
learned
what
the
happened.
70 Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. And then The Rock shows up. They're looking for Santa. Long story short, the witch gets in Santa's sleigh.
She's about to send all these globes all over the world, and then not till The Rock and Jack have something to say about it. So
Right.
she's about to take off. She's on it. I don't think they're about to take off, and she chucks Chris Evans. Chris Evans is holding on to the chain for the reindeer, and he kicks the thing that connects the reindeer to the sleigh. Kicks it. Reindeer go flying off. And the sleigh hits the end of the runway thing, kind of like a SWAT when the plane crashes at the end, kind of like that. She gets ejected. She flies off the sleigh, falls into abyss. We think the movie's over, but no way, it's not.
No way, because remember when he was in Krampus's place? Krampus used to date the witch,
That
and
was
the
a
witch he was talking about. Man, I like that witch. Not now. She shapeshift into this like ugly thing. I liked her when she was like 17 feet tall with skin like an elephant and
Yeah, and like two tails.
double twin tails. Well, that 17-foot tall skin like an elephant hag with twin tails comes crawling up the thing, and she's angry and she's kicking everybody's ass. And then Krampus comes flying up in his own sled thing, and
Which
it
is
is
dope.
heroic.
Shooting fireballs.
He's shooting fireballs. That's right. So Krampus is on the scene, and he's helping out his, I think, older brother. I think
Yep.
Santa's probably the older one. And it's fun. It's so much fun. It's so earned. They eventually managed to trap the witch in her own giant snow
Yeah,
globe.
they knock her back into the sled, and the sled has all the globes. She breaks all the globes, and all the magic gets combined, and she gets sucked into the globe, and she gets trapped into the snow globe.
And then, long story short, it's not. We haven't run out of time yet, so they're 6 hours behind or something like that. But they've trained for this. Let's do this. Let's put the team together. They load up the sled. Santa's on it. He says basically thanks to Chris and his kid for helping out. And then he gets on top of the sled, and then he looks back and he goes, "Well, are you two coming or what?" And they're like, "What? Yes!" So they jump on the sled. They're on there with it's JK, it's The Rock, it's Chris and his son, and now we see Santa delivering the presents in a way we've never seen Santa deliver presents before.
It's dope. It's so cool. So he's using the same shrinking technology The Rock uses. So you see him jump out of the sled, shrinks, go down. He goes down chimneys, reanimates to regular size, throws everything up, hits, zaps everything back. Everything grows to regular size. He grabs a rope, jumps back up, and then they have a blimp with a giant reload
following behind him. There's hundreds of elves following behind him, reloading the cart with more presents each time.
It's pretty cool.
It is this whole operation that they spend 364 days a year
they're
practicing for, right? And
so the rock's shrinking is not magic; it's technology.
It is technology, but Santa does a version of it that's a little different but similar, right?
Okay.
So,
Right.
but the fact that he's got a whole team of people helping him deliver these presents every year that they train 364 days a year to be ready to do it. They do mock runs, they do trial runs. That's why he has to know when you're sleeping or not, you know? And they're stealth, man. They're so good at it. And he delivers the vampire game that the girl asked for in the mall. And it's funny too. He's like, this vampire game is pretty popular this year.
Vampire assassin.
Right. And so it's just great, man. And then you have your happy ending where by the end of it, they've delivered the presents, and The Rock turns around and he sees Chris Evans, but he's not seeing Chris anymore. He's seeing that kid we saw at the beginning of the film. And Santa notices The Rock and he goes,
You see it?
You see it. You see it again. You can see it. And The Rock's like, yeah, man, I lost it. Hey, I'd like to actually. And he says he wants to stay on with them. And of course, the Santa is cool, man. Santa's cool. It's a cool Santa.
It is.
Right? And he's like taps him on the shoulder. He's like, I got you. And then that's basically the film.
Oh, so good. Such a good movie.
Now, I didn't stick around to see if there was a post credit, but
I didn't either. We were running late, so when we got there, the projector like screwed up. So we were sitting there for like I thought I was gonna be late for the show, and then so we just bounced right after. So I don't know if there was anything late, but I did get free tickets. We all got free tickets because of what happened though, which is cool.
Nice.
All right.
So you want to rate this thing?
I give it an 8.
I easily give it an 8.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. Sebastian loved it. Viv loved it. I thought it was edgy enough where it had a lot of like genuine laughs, and it was edgy enough, but it was good enough for like if you're not uptight and super super strict with your kids are gonna love it. It was a good time. I think it's gonna be one of those Christmas movies that's gonna have staying power, and it's gonna be kind of going to last for a while. It's going to be kind of like in the rotation for Christmas movies.
I'd be surprised if they don't expand on this, and it'd be a pretty big missed opportunity not to expand on the Lucy Liu element of the film.
Oh yeah, I agree.
All right, Arcane.
So where did the Lucy Liu element come into play?
So she's like a government agent. She's like the head of this government agency. That all she does is monitor these mythological creatures. Yeah,
so Santa is a mythological creature.
All right.
And like his brother Krampus, like the witch, like the Headless Horseman, Loch Ness Monster, Yeti, these mythological creatures that kind of fly under the radar. Apparently they all exist, right? If we've heard about them, because they probably exist.
Okay. All right.
Pegasus, things like that, right?
There is no post credit scene.
Okay, good.
Just to let y'all know you didn't miss anything. All right, Red One, y'all gave it an 8.
8.
You gotta go watch. Try to watch this movie this week. You will definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'll probably wait for it to come out on streamer because I ain't
it's worth
no money, son.
Well, I'll say this: it's going to come out on streamers. It's an Amazon Studio production. So the reason why I think it's dropping in November is because they'll probably drop it on Amazon in December.
Yeah, but when it comes out, definitely watch it. It's worth it.
I'll do that. All right. So y'all go check Red One. It's apparently a banger.
It is
from one brother and a shot of milk. Okay. With that being said, we are going to now shift it on to Netflix, the other powerhouse, I guess you can say, for streaming. Also, did y'all see that fight? Off topic. Y'all see that fight? Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. Yeah. Listen, the two, Serrana, and Taylor, that fight was pretty dope.
And the Barrios fight.
Yes.
Before that, yes. Those guys were banging. Man.
Yes. But anyway,
I didn't see the fight. I heard about how it went, and listen, I'm not surprised. You got the time.
Yes.
Time
is the greatest combatant of all people.
Yeah, but it almost looked like something was wrong with Tyson because
he was in a leg brace, wasn't he?
Yeah, he
had a knee brace on. Yeah,
and the guy's like 60.
Yeah, but he looked like even after he was like, I think something's wrong with him physically.
Well, look, the guy made $30 million, win or lose, and Paul made like 50. I didn't see the fight. The
Yeah.
thing just listen. It was a spectacle was the idea
It was
of
a
it
cash
behind
grab.
it, and it worked. But I think if you're looking for a fight that's probably the same thing, but it's got some real bite to it, go watch Balboa. Like watch Balboa.
Yes. Yeah.
Balboa is a great film. You know.
Yeah. There was one highlight that I noticed. I don't know if y'all ever like really paid attention to Mike Tyson's fight, but he does this one thing where he'll dodge a punch and then he'll come around with a crazy right. There was an opening where he could have done that and he didn't. And I was just like,
Yes, I saw that.
when I saw that, I was like, nah, he's just there for the money. He's absolutely there for the money.
Yeah, he's not trying to knock out Paul.
Yeah. Anyway, but we got another fight, and it's called Arcane Season 2, Act 2.
Ooh, man.
All
So
right.
there's a time jump between this one and the last one.
Yes, there is a bit of a time. First of all, we get this dope intro.
Yeah.
Kind of like unique stylizing with the characters. Go watch that. When I first saw it, I'm like, wait, what? And then they went into the beginning intro to the actual series. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man, that's crazy. Okay,
Just
but
fun.
this episode 4, Paint the Town Blue,
Yep.
and we pretty much are at a point where we open up where what's her name? I should need a better getting it.
Jinx.
Caitlin. Caitlin, who's in charge of everything now. She's been given power since the last episode. Caitlin is the sniper, and she's also Vi's love interest. But now she's no longer Vi's love interest. At least they're not together now.
When
She is
we get that there's been a how long? Like 6 months, 3 months? There's been a
It
big
has
jump
to
yeah.
in
be,
time.
'cause it's not years because the little girl is still the little girl, so it
Right,
has to
right.
be like probably a couple months.
right. So she's now they're in bed and they're talking. She's in bed with the short haired girl, which I don't know her name, but I think that's problematic that you're dating your subordinate, but semantics, right? I don't know. But anyway, so they're sitting there talking, and she's kind of questioning whether she should be commander, and the her love interest is telling her, no, you're made for this. You're essentially made for this job. You see everything and everyone. Uh, she then is confronted by Condessa, right? No, Mbessa, excuse me.
Yeah, and that's the war lady.
The war lady, correct.
Oh, the black lady, right?
Yes, the black. Yes,
Yeah.
the black.
Do
Chris, the
you
black
want to
lady.
put up that photo with the name charts again?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
There's a lot of characters, y'all.
There's
There's
a
a lot of characters in this content. They jumping around.
And they don't set up the IMDb like everything else. It's like it's weird.
I gotta tell you, my mom called me up.
Okay, is she watching it? Hello.
You glitched out there. Yeah, my mom called me
Yeah.
up. She started watching it. She said like one of the best things she's watched all year. She's like loving the series.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm not surprised though.
I mean,
It's like really good content.
It's good. Like, look, the content. I still have to go back and watch season 1 because I'm still like there's times where I still feel a little bit lost.
Right.
Not so much now because it's kind of taken its own turn, but I'm still gonna go back and watch season 1. And I was hoping to do that this week, and I just didn't get a chance to.
All right. What is that? Someone getting a
That's
message?
the image.
Let's see if I can pull that up.
It's a pretty good one for the names and the images. See if there's a better one though, but that one's pretty good so far.
All right. Well, at least I got it from my thing here. Let's put them over here. All right. So she's kind of Caitlin is kind of questioning what her command amongst the enforcers and the Noxians. They impose martial law on the Undercity. You see the forces or the Undercity under bosses. The whole regiment is scattered. You got the You got the mafia scum, I think they call them today. You got the Jinxes, uh, and there's a couple of others. They're all coming together. They're having a meeting with. She's not on here. Come on, with Savica. Savica. I probably jacked that up. The one arm chick.
Yeah.
Okay. She meets up with Jinx, and she was like, "Listen, we're all coming together. We'll be at the we'll be coming together. We're having we're having a talk of banding together so we can get up on the enforcers for the next time they come down and try to mess with us. We're trying to band together and trying to increase our forces." Jinx is like, "Nah, she don't want none of that." She said she has some place to be. Come to find out, the place she needs to be is in Stilko's office, and essentially talking to his chair, um,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get understanding of whether she even wants to, be part of this revolution. I guess you could say. Um, Before that, you get a little insight. You got Jinx is she now has that girl, which I don't think she has a name.
No, she can't
Mia?
talk
Yeah,
either.
she's a mute. She doesn't talk. But
Is her name Mia?
is it
Maya?
Mia? Maya? Is
Yeah, I
it?
think so.
Anyway,
I think so.
I don't remember them saying her name. But anyway, so this girl is now taking a liking to Jinx because Jinx saved her, and she's now emulating Jinx. And there was a moment where there was a checkpoint, and people were coming rolling through. You got and Bessa's right hand kind of going through the checkpoint, pulls one of the Jinx cronies out of there, and started buffing them up a bit. And
Yeah.
when that after they did that, then all of a sudden smoke bombs go off. You see a character standing up on the corner, up on the wall, and kind of looks like Jinx, right? But we come to find out that Jinx is, she has nothing to do with this. She want nothing to do with this, and she wasn't there the whole time. She's kind of confused. Actually, that was jumping back. Saveka was like, "Well, I heard about the stunt that you pulled," and Jinx is like, "Well, who's that?" So you kind of get an understanding that, or you kind of come to connect two and two. This girl that's emulating Jinx is kind of keeping the memory alive of the revolution and the whole movement. So you get to the point where Jinx is now at the chair with Silco and not Silco, but at Silco's chair, kind of asking questions and trying to get an understanding of what she needs to do or what she wants to do, trying to get direction. And she kind of gets that glow in her eye, and she was like, you know, I need to kind of, you know, go out there and help out or whatever, or at least be a part of it. Uh, at the meeting, and Bessa's right hand is beating up on the Jinx collaborator, whatever you want to call him, and he's kind of getting information like, what was that whole show for? What was that whole spectacle about? And he finally tells him, he's like, listen, at the statue, at this time, he lets him know. That's where the meeting is that Savica is going to and kind of trying to lead and trying to get everyone to band together. So now, and Bessa's group shows up. They're roughing everyone up, and everyone's under arrest. Everyone gets arrested, including Mia, or Maya. Is that her name?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
kids. The
Everyone gets
kids.
the only person that gets out of there. Really, a few people here and there, but Savica gets out of there. Her arm's destroyed. She goes in and she talks to or she finds Jinx and she's letting her know what happened. Like Maya's been captured. So now Jinx is like, "Oh, it's go time. We need to get
They
Maya."
also capture this guy who in the post credit scenes we've been seeing him put together a creature, this blood mage dude.
Oh
And so
yes,
they also capture him who just happened to be at the event by the statue, and when he's getting abducted, he cuts his hand and drops some blood on the ground, and you see whatever that creature was he was working on, this hydraulic pump turns bright red and starts like pumping,
right. That
and
was
then
that
this like
was that was Singed, and he was Silco's mad scientist, if you will. He made all the stuff for Silco.
right, and so we got this basically a werewolf creature. We don't know who it is exactly at this point, starts going for the blood trail.
Right. So we get into the prison. Um, oh well, Singh kind of reassures the girls like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll be out soon." So just like, "Do you want to know a secret? We won't be staying long." Something to that nature. So they get to the
Right.
prison.
What
Uh,
exactly was his plan?
well, I think his plan was to get out of the prison using the creature.
It didn't look like that creature was gonna stop.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. That's what I gather. Because again, when he saw him cut his hand, because when he was giving
Yeah.
up, he cut his hand. The blood started dropping. Then they scroll over to the creature, kind of activating, and like the
Yeah.
the blood pumping or the blood dropping was like his activation sign. And
Yeah. Yeah.
then from there he's like tracking the blood. So like he knew that this creature was going to come get him regardless. So he knew one
Right.
way or another he
It
was
was
going to
going down.
disrupt something.
Oh yeah.
So Saveka and Jinx are now they're now together. They're looking to get onto this prison island. The only way to get there is through cable cars, and they see which I thought was kind of funny. They see a guard kind of just like playing around, like you know, who's there? Acting just what normal people would do when they're bored and doing something, and they're kind of just
Right.
like keeping you know keeping the times. So she pumps up. She comes up. She's like, hey, well, it's me. I'm Jinx. And she was like, who? Which I kind of found a little weird because her face is
There's
all
posters
over
of her
on
all over the place,
everywhere. It's
flashing
like
every
you
single wall.
like you should know who she is, especially if you're a guardsman. Like you should know who this person is. Public enemy number one. But anyway, they knock her out, take her suit, and Saveka uh, is now she's a prisoner. Well, no, disguised as a prisoner. They get on the train or this cable car, and cable guards. One of the guardsmen. I don't know how the guardsman knew that this was a woman, but or maybe he just didn't care. He was like, "Hey, I'm down for the clown, no matter who you are," and kind of gave a wink, and she gave up that a middle finger with her newly prosthetic finger.
Right, because the guy blowing off in
Right.
the last episode.
So they make their way to the front desk. They everything seemed to be going smooth, and Bessa comes walking by, seemingly like she wasn't really paying him too much mind. Walked on by. They make their way into the prison, uh, open up the gates, and everyone's getting out. Now, while Mbessa is sitting there waiting for the cable car, she's kind of going through her memory. She was like, "Wait a second." She saw the hair, which I didn't even notice at the time. She saw a bit of Jinx's hair, and she was about to turn back around, but then as they were turning back around, here comes the cable car with the beast in it. And the front doors of the cable car is just like kind of pulsing. Like it's like trying to shut, trying to reset, but it wasn't there. Plus it was fully damaged. And as it got closer, you saw the beast on the inside. She puts her mask on, she gets ready to fight, and the beast comes out. And you might think that it probably was done for Mbessa, but she's main character syndrome at this point. She got that cloak on, that protective plot armor.
What do you call it
Plot
again? What
armor.
is plot armor? That's it.
Yes. So this beast runs in there and wrecks shop. Right. We don't see the beginning of the shop wreckage, but he gets down into the lower levels. Um, the as they're looking for the girl, they finally found her, but then they see Singh, and he kind of he's kind of closing his gate, which was kind of weird. It's like, wait a second, you were thinking that this thing is coming
That's
to
what I'm
rescue you,
saying, man. This thing
and
was just coming to wreck shop.
right, and he was just like, nah, I'm gonna, just to be sure, let me close this up, and this
But
thing
then he
comes
locked
down.
himself in there.
Yeah, he did. But the beast comes down that elevator shaft, and it's tracking the blood. That's pretty much how he's tracking everything. He's tracking the blood scent, and he's looking around. He's trying to find the guy. He leaves a blood stain on the gate, which I don't know. Maybe this might have been an attempt to kind of off himself, but at the same time disrupt the organization to a degree. Like it's like I said, it seemed weird. You,
But that doesn't make sense later because he says the beast holds the key to him obtaining everlasting life for his kid.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, how is he going to control the beast? They never really showed that. Like, it seemed like the beast, once it was out, it was on its own. The only thing that it was really tracking was blood, and you saw
Blood.
that throughout it because when the little girl was bleeding, it was kind of honing in on that girl, on Maya, whatever. He was honing in on her, and they kind of
Mhm.
had to like distract. So, it kind of seemed like he had no real control over it. Like once it was loose, it was loose.
Right.
Um, but anyway, so they're fighting. They're fighting with Jinx. Tells Saveka to get the girl out of there. She creates the distraction. She's shooting the beast. As she's shooting the beast, he's like his regeneration abilities is like off the charts. Like he's regenerating like split second. It's like the Hulk out here or something like that. So the gunshots weren't doing anything. But she was keeping on. It was almost like she was kind of, I would say, like teleporting to a degree. Like the way she was
She had
moving.
borderline super speed.
Right. Like she was moving pretty fast. It was pretty wild. Um then after that, what she the creature recognized her, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Creature gets the upper hand. It's about to take the killing blow when the Bruce Banner inside its Hulk recognizes the person it's about to attack and stops.
Right.
Right. And she recognizes the creature
As Vander.
as Vander, her surrogate father. Right.
The creature's name is Warwick. Okay.
The bartender.
Right. The bartender was Vander, but I think this creature's name is Warwick. Not unless it's Warwick Vander Warwick. Does
Yeah,
it
it's the
say
same
that?
guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
All
the
right.
same guy. It's the bartender guy. It's the big guy. It's the big bruiser guy who we saw in season 1, who
Right.
died in the water.
Yeah.
Or
Vander.
we thought he died. So that's pretty much episode one. They reconnected with Vander. You kind of see they kind of set it up to the beginning. Let me take that back. Once the Jinx and the team was out of there, you see the aftermath of what happened. What the Beast came. So he pretty much ran through everybody. He ripped
Right.
everyone up, and it was a bloody mess. And you see Ambessa kind of getting her wits back about her, trying to recoup and recoup, you know, get back in order of what's happening.
See, this was the problem is that I didn't understand the relationship Vander had with these guys and why he recognized her as
Well, they gave
That
that's
was
why they gave you the whole backstory in the
yeah,
next episode, right?
yeah,
And so in the next
I
episode, you
gotta
get the
watch it.
back. In the next episode, you really get the sense that clearly time has passed because Viv is
yeah. Vi is she's now a
fine.
prize fighter, or
Yeah.
like, and
But she went from prize fighter to washed up prize fighter. So a
right.
Well,
lot of
she does become an alcoholic.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
yes, you see the progression. Like she's out
So,
here,
but
she's winning these. Go ahead.
no, so does Jinx though too. When Jinx found the girl, she was blistered in the alley and killed those two guys while she was blistered.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But Vi went right down it because you saw the relationship with her friend. What was his name?
Kate,
Nah, the guy that she was with. Anyway, you see the relationship that she had with him, and you saw that there was tension. Like as you saw, because they were displaying this through like just a series of like a montage. Her fighting every time she won, she would get drinks with her friend, and then after a while, like you saw her a rift forming in between these two, and then next thing you know, she's fighting on her own, she's drinking on her own, and then she's losing fights. Right?
What was confusing for me is the it looked like the guy she was with looked like her father figure, or
It
like very
yeah, I don't
similar look. Like
yeah, he does
that
have
that
some
was like I wasn't sure whether I was in a flashback or whether I was getting a recap of the missing time until I realized I was just getting a recap of the missing time. Right.
nah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess how you could get to that, but I definitely because we saw the guy the last act one. He was a shield
Right.
guy. So I was just like, all right, they're kind of on
Yes.
their own. They're like their own support system, but you can see she was like spiraling.
I didn't
Obviously,
understand this jump in time because the way episode 3 ended, they had caught up to Jinx. The rifle girl took the shot. Kate took the shot. She ended up blowing her finger off, and that was kind of the end of episode 3.
Yeah, then there was the booby trap, I guess it was, where the
Yeah, where they
wind or the
released all the
gas
gas.
blew
Painted
everyone,
town, right?
separated everyone. Yeah. So
Which led, but then you had this. So the what happened in the meantime, what happened in the in between time was
I just need to reply to 40
what?
emails.
Every day your team.
okay.
Okay, that's
Yeah, all right,
pop-ups.
Yep.
Love it.
right. You basically have the underground community start to follow Jinx, but Jinx isn't isn't at all actively looking to lead them in anything.
Right.
No.
So
Well, she
it's
with that with the episode with the end of episode 3, she kind of made an impression on the undercity, because they were like, oh well, this person is pushing back, and
right.
made this to the point where the upper levels they recognize it because they had no choice but to, right, that plus that, and she blew up the council. So
But then what you got is that I guess the only way to really take it is she was just anarchy turned loose. She had no
yeah,
real direction.
that's pretty much what she was. She had no direction. That's why she went back to Silco's chair to kind of. She still went back to that office to kind of get answers, because Silco was the one that was directing her. She was a weapon. He was the hand holding it. He was the one pointing it, like essentially a mad dog, and go, like, what I'm saying, go attack that thing, and that was her thing.
Right. And then what's nice about Jinx in this is you really see and but that's what was also hard about it is you see almost complete role reversal where she goes from the antagonist of the series to becoming a heroic figure of the series, and you really kind of care about her because her connection with this kid,
Right.
which
And that kid
go
kind of
ahead.
like brought her back, because
Yeah, but it didn't bring her back for anyone else who was dealing with Jinx, the homicidal maniac who's running around killing half the population. And what's the hard thing to bite into this is where her sister kind of forgives it, the other character kind of forgives it, and we're like, okay, I know there's a jump in time, but it doesn't change what she did.
right.
But we're all just kind
Yeah,
of
so
moving.
she's essentially a horrible person. She's a terrorist.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think the only thing that lets us forgive her for
Is the
doing
kid.
that is that we vilified the people up top. So they're not good. No one's good in this story.
Right.
The underground people are bad. The people up top are bad. So that the only way that we can identify and sympathize with Jinx is understanding that she didn't do these horrible actions against people who are altruistic or good. They're bad. So because she did bad things to bad people, then we could kind of overlook it and be like, all right. And let us feel kind of some sympathy for her as she's going through this journey. Especially, and then we see her bonding with this little orphan that she's saving, and it adds humanity back to her. Where when we introduced to her in the first act, her humanity is gone.
Yeah.
And now I guess it's coming back.
Yeah. And it comes back in a really visceral way with the kid, And so I guess the next big plot is she enlists her sister's help, which I guess that was my point. It was like it was hard for me to agree that the sister's going to join forces with her at this point, but she does.
Yeah.
In an act to go get their father, right? Who
Right. So
they don't know.
Right. They end up meeting in a place that that pretty much where they used to hang out.
Right.
And first meets Vander in his current state, and they were about to fight. Well, actually, no, they did fight. It wasn't even about to. She actually blew his head up, which is pretty sick with that uppercut punch she did.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So they pretty much had to fight. They fought it out for a little bit. Then Jinx had to kind of calm it down, and you saw a realization, a kind of realization that Vander sees Vi for who she is, and you get this whole montage of
Flashback.
flashback of of how they grew up, or when they grew up, which I thought don't get me wrong, it was nice. It was nice to see, and it was beautiful. But I figured like if you're going into his mind, it will be like through his eyes, like what he
Right.
saw while they grew up and having the kids and everything like that. But either way, it was still nice to see. But you get this flashback, so now there's a whole big recognition. So they all recognize he recognizes them. It tames him for a second time, and they all come in for like a real sweet group hug.
Right.
And what I forgot to mention in episode one, at the end of episode one, the Doctor Singe, the mad scientist, mad doctor, whatever you want to call him, and Bessa recognized him and was like, "Listen, you're not going to be, you're not going to be in prison. You're going to come work for me, and you're going to do what I need you to do, and I'm going to supply everything you need." From there, you get a little bit more of Caitlin is now talking to the doctor about the beast and everything like that, and then Bessa approaches Sting, offering him unlimited resources. Oh, actually, that might have been this episode. Take that back. Okay. Then a person that we forgot was Mel, who was kidnapped by the Black Roses, and she's now in a prison. And as she's kind of figuring out where she is, she hears a voice talking to her, and then this person approaches out of the shadow, and it ends up being her brother. Now they're talking because they haven't seen each other since she was a kid, so he's been kidnapped for such a long time, and they're trying to figure out how to get out. Or at least she's trying to figure out how to get out. And he's like, people have tried, but there's consequences to it. And as she's trying, she kind of comes to the realization like, you're not my brother, and then proceeds to bash his head. No, not bash his head. Smushed his head up against the wall, which then turned into like this big mess, which then re-engulfs her, and she realized she's still trapped, but she's trapped within her mind, and it gets pretty nasty in there. We also get Jace. He returns from the rune,
Right.
and just him, but you also see that he's been changed. Now
Right.
I
And
was
he's been in there for clearly months. He's
right.
fully grown out. He's disheveled. He's kind of like his skin is augmented with whatever this
Yeah,
hex.
We stole that Hex Tech core, right?
Well, they touched it.
right.
They got
touched
like
it.
blown up into it.
Like Humdinger and Echo, along with Jace, they all went inside, and then when he touched it, things just happened. So
Yeah,
don't know
we
what
don't know
Echo
what.
is, Humdinger. Maybe they might have morphed into each other. I don't know. But when he gets out, the council member who was in a wheelchair, forgot his name, but he's now walking because before that, the cat woman, was she like a bunny? The healer. We'll just say she's a
Yeah.
healer. The healer was performing her magic upon him to kind of alleviate his pain, and she kind of mentioned that there's Jesus essentially. It's Jesus down in the Undercity. You should probably go
Yeah.
see him. So he ends up doing that, but that's all off scene. We don't see that. We just come back where Jace is now coming out of the room, and now here is the who was once handicapped, crippled. Now he is able to walk, and you see that he has the touch of Victor. Like, so you've seen that he's been touched by Victor. Now he's pulling out cores or whatever to bring back to Victor, but you see Jace is looking at him, and he kind of sees. I'm not sure if it's like what he really is or what the core power has done to him, but he kind of sees him like as a monster almost. Like it's kind of flashing in and out. Like the dots on his head look like eyes or like glowing. To me, they look like eyes. So he was just like, I can't let you leave with that. And old boy was like, well, I got to take this. I'm going to do it. And Victor's been waiting for you, so you can come on. And then Jace mollywops him. He hits him with the hammer, kills him, and he was like, all right, well, at least I know where Victor's at. And he makes his way on. But yeah, not Victor, Jace is definitely mentally broken. And there are things going on with him, which hopefully they explain, but act 3, which is going to be the last act, because he's on his own little.
And that's it, right? I know we have to get to episode 3, but Act 3 is going to be it. That's it for this.
Yeah, Act
for
3 is going to be it.
series.
Yes, that's what next Saturday. Next Saturday, the last 3 episodes. I mean, this thing is
Wrapping
going
it up.
quick. So now we're jumping into now. Unless I missed something, episode two. Right,
No,
we got
that's it.
Victor's story, we got Jace, we got Mel's. Oh, we are missing. The the team Jinx and the team they make it to Victor's encampment, and you see now there's like a big ball in the middle of all these tents, and you see a thriving kind of commune, I guess you can say. They don't allow weapons. You got to keep your weapons at the gate or whatever the case may be before you can go in. And when they walked up, the first person that we saw Victor heal is standing there, and he was like, "Oh, we've been waiting for you. Like we've been expecting you." So it's almost like Victor has this all-seeing eye. He can see into the future, and he knows when things are going to happen. So he's like, "We've been waiting for you. You can come in, but got to leave your weapons at the door." They make their way in, and it was a little. Everyone's all calm, cool, and like everyone's like all kumbaya. Um, Vander almost flipped out because at the smithing station there was a little bit of a sizzle and kind of triggered him. But then I forgot the dude's name, but he came back and he was like, everything's fine, kind of calmed the situation down. They brought Vander to Victor, and Victor was again all seeing. He was waiting. He comes like, we can help you. We can heal you, but he can't heal. He's not healing them like he healed all the rest of them. Where he was simply just able to touch them and cure all their physical ailments. He had to dig deep into his psyche to kind of find Vander that's entrapped within the beast. And when he first started, he was kicked out violently because the beast is really taking control of Vander, and he needs to get in there and dig deeper to really get him out. So that's where we left off with episode one. Episode two, we come back right into that where Vander and episode three, excuse me, the Herald.
Right.
We come in with Vander and what was his assistant's name or whatever she was. They're both kind of astroplaning through Vander's mind, and they're making headway to a degree. Like as they get closer, they see kind of Vander off in the distance, and then they get pushed out. And the more sessions they take, they get closer and closer to Vander and bringing him out into bringing his psyche out. Because at this point, we're not even sure if they can actually heal him physically because he's so changed. Like he's actually mutated into like this werewolf um,
Right.
mecha
He's more
beast.
beast than man at this point.
Yeah. So at this point, they're just trying to recover his psyche at the best. Um, from there, they five Victor interact for the first time. Oh, I jumped over. Yeah, so that was the third episode. Um, while all that's taking place, you see Jinx is kind of being Jinx. You see Maya or the girl. She's kind of like being mischievous or whatever. Uh, you get a whole like montage of Vander being healed, and you get different scenes where they're getting closer and closer to his psyche, and the deeper they go, the more messed up you see it that his mind is. With that, Jinx's mini me, I guess we'll call it a mini me. Jinx's mini me is kind of just running around trying to help out, but you see her kind of, when Vi put down her weapon, she kind of looked at it like at the core part, and then you kind of get the idea that she probably took the little marble, the hex tech marble.
Well, that was right when they walked into the place.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So she's she's a kid.
Yeah.
The other big plot point that's happening while they're in this compound is Mbessa is coming to it. Like she and the scientist guy are in pursuit of the beast because they want to distill its blood or something. Which I'm not entirely sure why they think that showdown is going to go very well for them, but that's what they're trying to do. Meanwhile, what's going on is Vi. Is it Vi?
Yeah, bye.
Violet. Vi is she's kind of out of the compound, or she sees the spear outside, right? She kind of like walks down the thing. She gets assaulted by her ex-girlfriend, who's like, "What are you doing here? You can't be here." and she goes, "I'm trying to save my father," right?
Mm.
And that's kind of like the next big plot point. And then it cuts to Kate taking her in as a prisoner to Mbessa, and we're like, man, I guess Kate's real far down the rabbit hole, man. There's no humanity left in her, and she goes with the scientist to go kill the beast at that point, right?
Right. Well, yeah. The scientist also is Victor's teacher, I guess you could say,
Right.
instructor. So he also singed wanted to talk to Victor, and he noticed that each one of his uses of his powers, he gets weaker and weaker.
Right.
So he's kind of like he realizes, oh well, your powers are finite, and you know this. But Victor's just trying to help as many people as he can, I guess, in the time that he has. So they yeah. So was it the mini me is just running around. You see Jinx on one of the kind of the highest points, I guess you could say, little lookout, and she's just looking at everyone, and she sees mini me kind of like she's hiding something in her jacket or in her hat. She finally pulls up to Jinx, and you realize it's her gun. So she got her gun back to, I guess, to be prepared, to be ready. Uh, Cut back into the tent of Mbessa. They're going through their whole little spiel, like, why are you here, this, that, and the third. Caitlyn goes to leave because they're going to get ready to do whatever it is they're going to do. And then you realize, oh, wait a second, this was actually a setup. This was a plan. So when Caitlyn actually seemingly knocked out Vi, it actually was, they actually talked to each other, and they were like, listen, this is what we're going to do, because Caitlyn still has feelings for Vi, and she understands what Mbessa is going to do with the doc.
I think Rich froze.
She's a plan of
There you
what's going to happen. She's telling where they're going to be at. Well, simply all I need just is a distraction, and she realized, she shows that she can uh, pick the cups, and she gave her trap. Caitlyn gave Vi the trap, the net trap, off of her rifle, and like all we need is a distraction, and that's it. And pretty much that's what happened. Caitlyn, Vi broke out. She threw up the trap thing, which I was just like, interesting, because before, when she first threw the trap thing up, you didn't know exactly what was happening. That's when they went through the whole explanation of what was happening, and then the trap bust open, trapped Mbessa, and it was like an electro net trap. It was pretty dope. So she ended up being electrocuted until she was unconscious, and they went off to go do what they need to do, which is stop the doctor from getting Vander. From there, what happened? You got Jace walks into the encampment, which I found it interesting that the the guy at the front didn't tell him to leave his weapon, but
I think he might have started to, and Jace was just didn't he kind of come a back way into it anyway?
Yeah, because he
uh,
just
did he?
I thought he stuck. Yeah, I got the impression that he's now, mind you, I watched this late last night and I zoned out and fell asleep and woke up. But I woke up when he got in and then he killed Victor.
Yeah,
So
Molly
Well,
Waffle,
no,
well, he
well,
blasts him
before,
pretty hard.
yeah,
yeah,
but before that, like he got in there and he was about to freak out on the kid, but no,
Right.
but the guy was there. The guy was definitely there
Yeah,
because
but he already had the weapon. He already had the weapon on him when he was in the camp. And so what the guy said was, "Is Victor's been waiting for you. Follow me,"
right,
and led him to the place. And then Victor, obviously with his ability of sight, knew what was happening. He didn't necessarily have all the pieces, but he knew what was happening. Knew what was going to happen. Lets it happen. Jace blasts him with his hammer as the plan with the other girls unhatch, and you saw Kate take out the scientist as Jinx takes the shot with the gun to protect the werewolf father, and then the other girls run up as this epic battle quickly ensues. But what's nuts about it, here's the thing that happens that's nuts. When Jace blasts the dude,
mhm,
the
Victor.
Jesus figure, Victor. Everyone who he healed basically loses their mind. They basically become a shell, a hollow shell, and you see the essence of Victor's power kind of floating out of them.
Right.
And the werewolf guy who he's been healing for weeks now goes like DeathCon, deep red, like he's literally vomiting
Right.
like lava, like
But
magma is
before that, we also saw that Victor's work was actually bearing fruit because when he went to the and Bess's right hand came in, he stopped him and
yeah.
then he
And the
said,
werewolf
"Stay away
goes
from my daughter."
my
Like you saw,
yeah, hurt my
Victor was
daughter. Yeah.
Vander was coming out. So yeah, once Victor was dead and the seemingly his power was no longer affecting anyone, was no longer had a
Right.
hold on anyone. He just lost all hold on on
Which
Vander, and Vander lost it.
which is odd because you go, this was always going to play out in some capacity. The guy was never going to live
Mm.
forever, and the second
So he
his
knew. So he knew that he when he was healing these people that if he had these visions, he knew the power. He knew what was going to happen. He knew that I'm going through. I'm building this farm. I'm healing these people. But if I know I'm going to be killed, then these people are going to lose. He's just trying to give them a small window of
peace,
relief from their ailments.
right? I
I don't
guess.
know. I'll have to go back and watch episode because I know he was getting visions. I think this was the same. His vision might be a little bit stronger, but I don't think like you said before, he's getting like pieces of his vision.
Right.
Like he knew he's gonna meet Jace, but he just didn't know how that was gonna play out.
Yeah.
So he might be getting pieces of everything that he needs to do, or that it could be happening, but he just doesn't have the full story and how it all play out.
From an audience level, I guess what's hard about this scene is we learned that no matter what, this was always the outcome. No matter
Mm,
what, this was always the outcome. Maybe not as soon and maybe not as violent, but the second he was out of the scene or his powers stopped yielding any kind of real potency, everyone was about to lose their mind and the wolf was to be released. So
oh yeah,
so then what happens is the wolf goes DEFCON, starts ripping everybody up, but the place is overrun by soldiers in an instant. So he's just tearing through them. They're spearing him up. And then the little mini me character, Jinx's girl,
yeah,
gets it in her mind that because the wolf is attacking everybody and does not recognize his kids anymore and hits Jinx pretty damn hard. She goes flying. She's all busted ribs and bruised, and her best friend Mia, the blue-haired Jinx mini me, quickly identifies that there's no stopping what is happening here. And so she managed to grab Jinx's gun and loads it. Usually Jinx only has like one of these power bullets in there. She loads
yeah.
it with all the crystals and somehow slides under the wolf and is looking up at him. She smiles. She knows what's going to happen, and she lets off a
Massive blast.
massive blast, and that's kind of where we end this chapter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. And then we get a little preview of the next three, and yeah, so pretty much we get the sisters are back together. Don't know for how long. We lost
Right,
Mini Me, we lost Vander, and well, possibly Caitlyn and Vi are back together because she sees the era of having Mbessa around. We
right.
got
Well,
Mel,
we kind
who's
of don't know anything though.
yeah,
I mean, honestly, we're not unless I didn't watch the preview. I tend to try not to watch what's coming next week until I'm watching what next week. So unless the preview gave this away, we don't exactly know who's 100% lost at this point, right?
true,
It's
true.
it's implied that the wolf just lost its head. It's implied that the blast was so hard it probably took the kid out with them. Some things are pretty hard implied, but we don't 100% know yet.
Yeah,
And we also don't know
I
if we're
realized that.
walking into another time jump.
Yeah, we probably
Oh
will.
yeah, yeah.
Bashy!
And I realized that that Singh, the professor, he kind of has like a Mister Freeze kind of story going on there because he has like his wife,
Oh
I
yeah,
believe.
yeah. It's his
I was
kid.
like,
It's his daughter. It's
oh,
his
is his
daughter.
kid? I'm like something to that nature.
But
I'm like,
it's
that's
definitely a
interesting.
Mr. Freeze thing. She's in
Yeah.
like some sort of
But
cryo jelly too. Who's getting blown up in there?
it's Chris.
Oh, it's me.
Yo, man, turn your.
So yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at. Arcane season 2, Act 2. Definitely coming back for next week for Act 3. That'll finish it all up. Hopefully they finish it off with a banger. And I think
I think they will.
This is good content, man.
Yeah.
There's so much heart in this series. I can't imagine they won't.
and I read because the reason why they did it like this, the creators were just like, listen, we're just going to tell the story, and that's pretty much it. We're not going to, draw it out as much as we need to. So I think
I think they'll
it's
come back with
definitely
a
going to be
different point
the
of view.
final season.
Sure.
Yeah, in the last 3 episodes.
Yeah. What's going on, Bash? What you got? What you got for us?
You got a Batman shirt?
Yep.
All
Let's
right.
see it. Let's see it. Yo, that is a big-eyed
Nice.
Batman.
It looks like
It is.
Batman almost.
Yeah, right?
Okay, all right, there we go. There's the other eye.
So I'm showing
Sure,
two.
right here.
I'm showing 2 cards,
Okay.
Yeah, let's see it.
but they're both really good,
All
and
right.
they're both Chinese. Wait, in one sleeve,
All right, let's see him. Let's see him.
and I don't have that much. First, I got this a cool Electro
Nice.
Nice.
Hollow Rare. Hollow Rare.
And what else you
All
got?
right.
Then
What else
I
you got
have
there?
this Ditto,
Oh, it's on back. Okay.
Blue Ditto. That's also Hollow Rare.
Nice, nice.
Then I have the side of the cards.
Oh, okay.
Good.
The collection's getting big.
The
So
collection.
you got
I
a blue Ditto? Isn't Ditto supposed to be purple?
Yeah, but this one's
Yeah,
blue.
but it's supposed to be a shiny version.
Nice.
It's the shiny version. And I finally have 67 rares.
Is that a magic number?
It's just a lot of rares.
A lot of rares.
A
Yep.
lot of rares. Connie
Lot of rares.
Alaska said, "Cool shirt."
Oh,
Thank
we are getting chat? No, we still not getting
No,
chat.
we're
She
still
must
not.
be
I'm
working.
on
I
the
think
phone.
we gotta reset it next week. Hopefully
Yeah.
it'll work.
With
All
that
right.
being said, I want
Before we
to.
go, we'll have to wrap it up. But before we go, I got some recommendations.
Oh, what's the recommendations?
Okay, but where were they? So we talked about vehicles for GI Joe vehicles.
Okay.
Some of the greatest vehicles from the 80s and 90s. Number 1 is Ecto 1 that came out, and that was made by Kenner, 1986, the original Ecto 1 toy. You guys remember that? It had the back that would open up, and it could reel in the ghosts.
Yeah.
Did you guys have that toy?
I think Lawrence had that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lawrence definitely had it.
Probably still has it.
He still has it. Number 9 is from Galoob, the A-Team tactical van, which is super cool.
The what? Galoob?
Yeah, Galoob. You remember Galoob?
No.
Yeah, Galoob. They made a lot of pretty cool toys.
Okay.
We also have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the wagon from
I remember
Playmates.
that. Yeah. Chris Lucas had that.
Of course he did. Chris Lucas had everything. The Dragon Walker from Masters of the Universe. That's 1984. I actually have the new version of that thing. It was like this weird sidewalk. The vehicles for Master Universe were really, really weird. And then the last thing I have is, if you can find it now, it's worth big bucks. There's the USS Flag from G.I. Joe, the giant aircraft carrier. My friend Louie Lou has that
Oh yeah.
as a kid, which was super dope. They're huge.
What about the Thundercats?
Oh, the Thunder Tank.
Yeah.
I had that. I think it was all, and the claws would be like that.
You know who else had that? Chris Lucas had it. Anyway,
Of course, Chris Lucas had that.
you remember the monster truck that had the claws that came out the wheels?
Yes, I have it upstairs.
Yeah.
The animal.
I had that
yeah.
too.
I have it upstairs right now.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah, you put batteries in. You would turn
They
it.
might-
Had a locking hub.
Yeah.
You turn the hubs, and then the claws would come out.
Yeah.
Yes.
The animal. That's how the comic book goes.
All
The one
right.
that's
All
in
right.
the fish tank.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give a shout out to everyone who
Oh,
commented: Connie Alaska, ETC, Pop Johnson, C23, etc. Corey Pearson, Who else? I believe Jerry was in. Sorry, Jeffrey. Excuse me, Jeffrey Miller.
Oh,
And
Jeffrey.
yeah, that's everyone. And then the new guy. Remember,
Remember my wife?
remember
Remember
wife's
wife's
birthday?
birthday.
Yes,
Wait a
he's on
minute.
Twitch.
Do
Listen,
you say Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
did I say Dwayne the Rock Johnson? No.
Yeah, Dwayne was on the show today.
Yeah, he
You
came on
missed
the show.
that.
Oh, he did.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's in the
All
chats.
right.
yeah.
Lying to
All right.
me.
It's bedtime. So
Anyway,
Well, the
thanks for
night
checking
list.
us out. We will get everything sorted out for tomorrow. Listen, catch y'all next time. Same bad time.
Yep. Same bat channel.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.